This program is rated MA. It contains adult themes, coarse language, sexual references, and violence.
Yeah, it says.
All right, hold on. It's Friday night, open comms. Sorry for the 2-minute late start. I got home late from work, but we're ready to roll here, and I need to move the TeamSpeak thing down. But so Dirk and Rain are gone this week, but you got me, DC, and LB, and Blastum, but we are also joined by Boat. How's it going, Boat?
Hi.
And then we also have Grath. Hello, Grath.
Yep. Hi. Sorry.
Yeah, and then we also have Doom Chinchilla with us. The what?
As we speak.
Okay.
Killing goons. He's busy.
Okay, nice. And then we got Doom Chinchilla with us as well.
Being rude. Hey.
Okay, so we'll probably. Good God, this chat! I need to move it. Okay, so we're gonna open up tonight. We're gonna get to the war and the battle of Conan and all that stuff in a little bit, but we're gonna get some quick stuff out of the way first. Oh, Corkus God, thanks for the resub, man. 2 months. But yeah, we're gonna get to some quick stuff. So I'm gonna throw it over to Blastum really quick while I get this display fixed up a little bit. And so we got some announcements for Vegas.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff came out. Well, Saturday, actually last Saturday on the Talking in Stations, Falcon was on, and I needled him a little bit, and he released what's going to happen on the Saturday night party for Vegas. That party is now being hosted and held at Dre's nightclub at the Cromwell, which is just a 5-minute walk from the link. So
my nightclub.
It's very
it's a Drayden's nightclub.
It's Drayden's. It's Dre's, and it's a beach nightclub, so that actually has a pool there. But that's not a pool that you can go swimming in. It's just there for show. So, but it's a really, really cool place. I've been there once before when it first opened, and that was probably a few years ago, but it's an awesome, awesome venue. It's huge. The great things that's happening with that is we have a 3-hour open bar. After that open bar is done, we're not getting kicked out.
Really? Well, you still have to have the dress code thing like last year.
Still have to dress code. I'll get there in a second. But we get to stay, and we get to mingle into the regular nightclub life in Vegas. And this is going to be a really cool venue. Now, I've been checking the calendar, who the DJ, the club DJ is going to be for that night. They haven't announced one yet. They don't have the October calendar up, but I do see it coming very, very soon. And hopefully we'll be able to see who that DJ is going to be for that Saturday night. So we get to stay, and there's going to be no admission once we are in. We're in. Now I'm going to link the dress code here in a second. It's very important, and it's a little bit ways down on the dress code. So you just scroll down to where it says the nightclub dress code, but the volunteers, we will kind of reinforce what the dress code needs to be. But there's one really important note, because it is a beach club. It is bolded and highlighted and underscored and all that. Not really. It just says.
Did you just resub?
Yeah,
he did.
That's why I said shameless.
and on the note, it says, if you remove your shoes, you will be immediately escorted out of the venue with a 0 tolerance policy. So you can't take off your shoes once you're in the club. So it's laid out, in the notes for the dress code. So, but we'll reinforce that. We're probably going to print up cards with dress codes, shove them in, your welcome packets and all that. So that's a big part of there. So, but yeah, I'm really excited for Dre's. It's at the Cromwell. It's at the corner of Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard. It's a really cool venue. I'm glad it landed there. So, aside from that, there was also an announcement today if you're going to get a party-only ticket, this is a party-only, so that you're going to the Saturday night party, you're not attending anything else, there are only 10 tickets left for the Saturday night party. That's it. So they're going to go. Okay, so cool. That's Saturday night. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm glad to see we got a bigger venue. It's going to be a great place. All right, so
now,
today...
The thing, really quick on the pool, like, it looked like the pool covers, like, a whole bunch, like, where's all the tables and the stuff at the club? Because it looks like the stage thing is up in the front. And then you have like this small little area in the front, and then this walkway bridge over like a double-sided pool. And I didn't see any other like much room and stuff. So, like,
the whole rooftop is the club, so it's up top.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the whole rooftop of the Cromwell is the club area. They also have an after hours or after dark place, which is a little bit more inside, a little more enclosed. But yeah, the whole club is like 25,000 square feet of just venue, which is the whole upper part of the hotel. So, and then, all right, so today, a couple announcements come out. And well, the big announcement is saying about the Friday pub crawl. It did mention pub crawl, but then also said Friday event. So with this, it's a pub crawl, but we do not have any details yet. So I was kind of hoping to scoop some details, but nobody got back to me as about what the details are. We'll know more on Monday, but it's kind of like we don't know what it is going to be. But there was a vague announcement on the Facebook page that wasn't on the Twitter feed saying you must have a valid eVegas 2017 conference or party-only ticket to enter. So I'm kind of thinking it might be a couple different places. So we go from one place to a place, and you can follow, everybody around where you just, can be with all the, eVegas people. And you can do that, but I'm kind of leery about that whole announcement. I don't know what it meant, and I tried to get clarification, but I didn't get anything yet. But the tickets go on sale on Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. There are only 220 tickets for the Friday night pub crawl / event, whatever that could be, and no details yet, but look for announcements probably at the same time they launch the tickets. So I think that's a lot of the eVegas stuff.
Have they mentioned the price of the pub crawl? They're usually like $90, I think. Is it the same this year?
I believe so. I haven't heard any price changes. I didn't hear anything. They wanted to keep that price point the same, right around that $90 range. Didn't want to go too extravagant. Didn't want to keep it, want to keep it at least somewhat highbrow. Anyway, with that, I do want to give a quick shout out to the volunteers. I don't know if Ronan is in chat. He usually shows up, but he's an eVegas volunteer. Of course, Grey Gal. We've got Laser 2 Clear as a volunteer. We got Fishbone, General Marcus Aurelius, Bob, Edison, and Shinto Master. We're all eVegas volunteers, and come see us. We will get you where you need to go, get you checked in. We do everything possibly, help you without the booths and everything. So that's a big eVegas announcement. We'll have more next week as we get what the Friday announcement is, and then of course Dirk will go on rants about eVegas.
Oh yeah. Now, sorry, LB, I did not get a chance to look at the show notes. Was there anything else we were getting to before we got to the war?
I think we're going to do a shot for Rain because she's starting her commentating tomorrow.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Okay, might as well throw a shot out. Yeah, so Rain's going to be doing the Alliance. Now, she's been doing the commentation for Event's stream, but she's actually going to be on site. She's in Iceland. She flew out there yesterday, I believe. So she's out there. Elise is out there as well. Was Apothony going to this year? Yeah, Apothony. So all those guys, they're actually going to be out there. So we'll throw a shout out to them. This will be her first Alliance tournament commentating. So good luck to her. And shots.
Yay.
All right.
So excited.
So yeah, because there wasn't a whole lot of other topics in Eve right now, but the big one is obviously the war, and not just the war, the big fight in Conan that happened night before last.
And the night before the night before that.
Before that.
Right. There was that big one too. I've been working so late, I haven't been able to get to either of those. I actually got deployed. I got home and started rushing out there, but the fight was already underway, so I didn't get into the Conan fight. So I was watching it on was it Averin Diaz? Is that his name? He's from Horde, Pandemic Horde.
Oh, I heard his stream was good.
Yeah. Pretty insightful too. So I was able to watch it on that, but I wasn't able to get in there. I wasn't able to get into a fleet until yesterday when I was in that Typhoon fleet that waited until the Astrahus died, and then we jumped to save it just in time to see the explosion, and then we were trapped behind enemy lines and hid in a station for a while, and then had like a breakout. that was pretty fun. But
Listen, Epothene's not at Eve. He's not there. He's got exams, but we do have Jintan, Elise, Rain, and Moderator are the commentators.
Okay. Oh, nice. I'm sure Jintan will wear some shiny swag, but yeah. So anyway, so the big fight into Conan, though. I mean, obviously it was the final timer for the Fortizar. And
no, it wasn't. It was the.
It wasn't even anchored.
It was anchored,
yeah,
man.
it was the finisher of the anchor.
Yeah,
well, that shows how much I know.
So that's the difference, right? Like that's the fundamental difference that you have to like. So if a structure is anchoring, and it's finishing its anchoring cycle or whatever,
You
like
can
it's
kill it right
vulnerable for
before it comes
15
on.
minutes, and that's one timer. You never have to have a timer or come back or anything like that. If that fucking first 15-minute timer comes by, you're coming back, like. You'll have to come back the very next day, so you'll shoot it once, and then 24 hours later you have to come back, and then you got to wait a whole fucking week, which is the dumbest shit in the. Like, whoever thought that was a good idea is a goddamn idiot. Like they make you wait a whole fucking week before you can blow it up. So when these things first came out, I tried to kill one in my Nyx that somebody left behind, like a random test one that was just left.
That's just the first anchoring, though, right? After that, it's just available to get shot every vulnerability window that they say.
Sure, and when you reinforce it,
But
you
the
don't blow it
easiest
up.
way to kill it is when it's anchored.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so I had to have somebody help me because I wasn't going to... I missed it the first time. I did it the first cycle. I did the second cycle. A week later, I got home an hour late from work. I fucking missed it. I had to start the bitch all over again. So it took me 2 weeks to blow up this tiny little $800 million piece of shit in the space. That's so dumb. Anyway, so this was the anchoring cycle.
That's amazing.
Okay.
You're like
yeah.
draft mad? What?
Well, yeah, because like I said, since I hadn't gotten deployed early, I just saw that there was a fight over the thing, and I saw it blew up, so I assumed it was on the final timer. So it was okay. So it was actually anchoring.
Well, I guess it's sort of a final timer.
Well,
in a way.
Yeah. Either way,
It's a fight. It's a big fight.
it's a fight that something blew up, but
strategically, I mean, so far the Imperium can't dock, capitals. We have to do it at stations. So we need the Fortizar.
We need one? What?
well, you can dock. Oh no! You can't. You need the keep
you
star
can
for the
tether.
supers, but you need the Fortizar for the regular capitals.
Yeah, but you can dock in the NPC station. This is low sec.
Right.
Right. But the thing is, there's several questions I have for the fight that and then we'll eventually probably just branch out into like the war in general. But for this fight, now this is probably for boat. Typhoons. Yep. I love the Typhoon, mainly just because I just got the missile skills to actually use it. So I was excited. I'm excited to use those things.
Of course, you would love it. You can fly it.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's a new ship. But there's a lot of people saying that missile ships are really bad in that much tie-dye.
Oh, I hate them.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
So like I don't understand why, because you would assume that even in tie-dye, yeah, everything's slowed down, and yes, the missiles take further to travel, but they take time to travel distance anyway without tie-dye, and so like even in tie-dye, shouldn't that time differentiation between damage and all that stuff be the same? So it shouldn't matter whether it's tie-dye. But I mean, I saw Laz talking on Twitter today about how missile boats in tie-dye are a lot worse than missile boats in non-tie-dye, and I don't get the mechanic behind that.
Maybe it's because like the server has to calculate the time, so it's like an extra thing.
Yeah. So the problem with tie-dye is like, so on paper, right? Like 80 stealth bombers are gonna alpha Macarial, and so like last night we were killing Macarials with stealth bombers, and they had this in interceptors to chase us, and I ended up killing like 10 in like an hour, and it was hilarious. And we were just kind of derping around with these newbies and bombers, but the whole thing is on paper they should have been alpha. Once the tie-dye went away and we started hunting them in like safe spots, we were alphaing them with like 50, right? They were just boom, dead, boom, dead, boom, dead. So on paper, it was like, oh yeah, we're going to go in there and we're going to alpha them. That's what I was told to do. So I did what I was told. I went in there and I was like, all right, we're warping at like 50, landed like 80 off, and then fired, and then nothing died. Like 4 or 5 volleys later, it finally died. But it was really bad. And that's the thing with missiles. The damage isn't applied instantly. It takes time. Whereas like as soon as you lock with guns, boom dead, boom dead, boom dead. So
Yeah,
that's
It's
the
not just
problem.
it's not just that. Say okay, so say the missile's gonna fly for 15 seconds. Let's even do 10 seconds, right? In time dilation, that's 100 seconds. Yeah, so in 100 seconds, you can do all kinds of shit. Like, as far as physically notifying your logistics that you're about to take damage, the amount of time, like telling your fleet that they need to turn their firewall on because there's a missile volley coming. You have so much time to do all those things. Every beneficial thing you could possibly do to save your fleet can happen during missile flight time that you cannot have during, like, that guns don't offer. The best you got is a longer period of time to tell people that you're being yellow boxed by gunships. Whereas with missile ships, it's like, okay, they're red. Somebody order some Jimmy John's by the time my sandwich gets here.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it definitely gives you the logi a lot, and especially in tie-dye, it's even just because essentially in tie-dye, essentially the reaction times are quicker, because non-tie-dye it takes half a second to a second for people to react. Well, half a second to a second in tie-dye is like 1,000th of a second reaction time essentially. So
I don't know if it's quite that far, but it's still better.
Well, that's an exaggeration, but I do that all the time.
Yeah. Bullet time comes with certain advantages and certain disadvantages. Disadvantage being life sucking.
Yeah, so on the good side, like, it was pretty much the goods were like, aside from the capitals, is like jackdaws for the fighters, typhoons for everything else. Test brought a nightmares with some what are they, maelstroms in there.
Wait, did they bring nightmares again?
Yeah, they brought nightmares and their comedy phoenixes.
Many. Well, we'll get to the Pro God bit later. I wish he was here for
those
it.
Phoenixes.
I tried to get a hold of Pro God, but he never got back to me. I was gonna see if he wanted to come on too, but I didn't hear from him.
So the Phoenixes were so awesome because they were just blowing shit up left, right, and center.
But did they kill anything?
Yeah, they were killing a ton of shit. Like, they're alpha max with 20 fucking
why were they... Oh, never mind. I don't even want to know.
Yeah, and Everyone's right as well, yeah.
So they jumped in, they killed the Darkness fax. So Darkness had no fax left on grid. And then they started killing Max, because like
Darkness's faxes were dead before Test came in.
Yeah,
Goons weren't dead long-range dreads. They were dead
before.
You guys
escalated missile ships on top of missile ships on top of... You were like, let's bring some
and
jackdaws,
and we'll fire like cowards.
And we'll get some phoenixes up in here, and if there could possibly be a missile type we're missing, somebody think of I need a crow fleet.
The funny thing is those Phoenixes.
Yeah,
well, hold on.
Everyone's
right. Everyone's right. There was a Goon bomber fleet as well, so that's even more missile. Like,
wait, but we didn't have any Drakes. We didn't have Drakes, so I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I
should have brought a Kestrel.
It was funny because I was actually watching Averin's stream and I saw that he's like, "Oh, bombers just showed up." I'm like, "Oh shit, big!" And then he mentioned, I realized I'm like, "Oh, it's low sec." Yeah, okay, so that's not bombs. It's just
the really hilarious bit about those Phoenixes too is they were working great and they probably would have got out, but then like NC Dots like tugged on the leash of Shadow Cartel and Shadow Cartel's like, "Fine, we'll bring our dreads," and so they went like 2-3 midpoints to get up there. And then dropped in like 50 dreads and just zapped all the fucking Phoenixes.
There's no tugging of the leash. Everyone just hates goons. Like, you don't need to be like, "Hey guys, please, please." You're like, "Hey guys, I can get you dread fridge."
Well,
and they're
now
like,
see Doom.
"Okay, all mid."
Now see Doom.
Like,
you can't say that.
Let's not play like little spin games. Being that I was in the command channel, so I know what happens. I don't need this Kool-Aid stuff. Those Phoenixes did jack shit. They came 200 kilometers away. They did jack shit. Your long-range dreads kind of did something, and then we DD'd them, and then
I just killed the Knicks. I don't know about you. I wasn't in a capital. I was a bomber.
That's something. Yeah, I couldn't get a hold of the Sword Dragon either because I was gonna have Sword Dragon come on and talk talk about the Knicks because I know there's the whole contention about like, oh, is a DC Knicks, and then everyone will say like, no, we just burned it down.
Hold on, this will get even better, Drake. You wanna know how I knew to kill that Knicks? You wanna know how I knew it was there?
How's that?
Guess who PN'd me on Skype and was like, "Hey, Boat. Hey, Boat. There's a Knicks DC. You wanna go kill it?" Just take a guess. Who would be the last person you expect to message me on Skype in US Prime and be like, "Hey, Boat, there's a Knicks to kill"?
Vince Draken.
Gigax.
Oh, Gigax.
What?
Oh.
Gigax was logged in?
He was in a test fleet in a nightmare. He had test skin of a nightmare, and he gets into like a prober, and he's like, hey, Boat. Hey, Boat, you want to go kill a Knicks? He gave me a warping and everything. It was funny as fuck.
Yeah,
wow.
So did the Knicks actually DC or not? Because like everyone said it DC.
Yeah,
wasn't
no,
it?
it was DC. So it was
supposedly
DC.
he signed in 1,000,000 kilometers off, which could make sense. 'Cause that's partially what killed the Goon Supers back when you guys fought Test or whatever.
That was an F402. So here's what happened. So he signed in, right, and he warped in, and then he DC'd. But the thing is like, don't get back online before you log back. Like, if you get hit or pointed while you're crashed, before you appear back in local, like before you log back in, you don't e-warp off. Like,
Yes, you
stuck
do.
There.
No, you definitely do, because we had
that guy.
No, you're wrong, because we had 2 supers at the same thing, and you guys
Right.
landed on both
Right,
of them,
but they
and they
appeared
both
at
were
local.
fine.
So if they appear in local, they'll e-warp. So I had the same thought, Doom, until that Knicks, because he logged in and was already hit pointed and didn't move, and he was exactly.
No, that's because he signed in 1,000,000 kilometers off. He just appeared 1,000,000 kilometers out. Like,
because he's on kill mills, like in the middle of the fight, like he was there.
Yeah, he just appeared 1,000,000 kilometers away.
Because I watched him e-warp off, and I didn't catch like what direction.
The problem also is low sec sucks for super combat. Like, everyone's like PLNC or dropping their hammer, but it's the most terrifying thing for us.
How is it horrifying? I love it.
Because Crime Watch sucks. Because every single time you shoot something and I shoot something, the game has to go, okay, are you a criminal? No. You're a suspect? Okay, you lose success.
So CCP actually...
and every single time that happens, it chugs the server. So every single time I give a command, okay, guys, use your fighters to do this, every super pilot takes out 2 die and they roll it. And if they roll wrong, they DC. And if they DC, then they have a chance to die to you. And what sucks is that I have to, as an FC, have to sit there and calculate, is it worth me committing supers so they die to a DC? Because CCP can't code this game well. I, as an FC, don't have to take strategically the best course. I have to sit there and go, is it worth the risk of a DC?
Well,
it's not
on
just
3 clients in that fight, I had 60 frames a second on the Titan and on my Apostle, and then like my Nyx was at like 5 frames a second, because it's not just doing it once. Every single fighter that I have will trigger Crime Watch in its own way.
So there was 2 things I was looking forward to. One is one of those getting shot by those what do you want to call them, Titans, and hoping that one of them crashed. Because if they would have, I had 100 dreads just waiting to side
The Titans are fine. The lag doesn't bother them at all.
I know. I was hoping. I was praying.
But like the supers are what you will probably almost always
and
get
then
a kill
I wanted
on,
one of the vendettas.
because they drop like fucking flies, man. They were
the thing
crashing
is,
constantly the whole fight.
When it came to the drops, it was like, wasn't the note...
Rice cake? Cinnamon apple rice cake? What's
oh my god, those are amazing, Grant.
It sounds
the note
delicious.
was reinforced by like 3 different CEOs. Like, that shit's been reinforced all week.
So that's the thing that brings me, is like, so that node was reinforced and people were getting socket closed all over the place.
It's
whereas other fights...
It's Crime Watch, but Crime Watch is balanced. Like, it's...
Crime
Watch
So we kind of did it to ourselves that second fight. So like we honestly it clicked for me that we were the cause of the crime of why it was so bad the second time. The first time I have no idea. We didn't actually request, or I didn't request it be reinforced the first time.
It was
the second
requested
time. Our GTFO DDs were causing every single time we fired one, the server would just halt. And it would just pause because what it does is, if anyone doesn't know, it's 100. You have a 100-kilometer range. It's like it's a 30-kilometer sphere, and it just does a boosh and it sends you into a safe spot. But what it does is when it hits you, and if you're in that, it teleports you one by one by one by one. And as each person is teleported, it does a Crime Watch interaction between that Titan pilot and that person. So it's just ticking. And so we had this great idea of, well, we hate tests and ProGod is a massive tool. So every single time ProGod warped his nightmares in, we GTFO'd him. So it wasn't until the second time that he then convoed Killa and whined and cried and said, for the love of God, stop doing this to me. And so Killa told me, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Guess what I'm going to do? So I convoed ProGod, and I said, fuck you. Guess what's coming? And just as we did that, the third GTFO hit him. So he warps back for the 3rd time. We do it a 4th time. And that's when he warps in at 0 the 5th time, and we just kill him. But like some of that lag was all on us.
So the best part about that fight too was Crime Watch, according to CCP today, like Crime Watch is designed just for that. It's to help the guys who are in subcaps fight supers. I'm really impressed by their ability.
Because the Crime Watch. I
don't
think about the Crime Watch
in your ass where you pulled that out of.
I didn't think about the
I
Crime
feel
Watch.
like there might be a small Norwegian village up there.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I didn't think about the crowd watch because I was like, BTEC R. I mean, there was socket clothes in BTEC R, but there was like twice as many people in that fight, and there was drones and shit everywhere too. But that fight was at much worse tie-dye, but seemed to have less disconnects than this one, where there's a lot less people and a lot less going on. So I was like, sitting there, like, with a reinforced node and with the whole brain in the box thing now in effect, you'd think it would have been a lot smoother than it was without as many DCs, but.
Yeah, and then
the Crime Watch, I didn't even think about that at all. So.
Last year we piled like 6,000 people into that system, and it was soul crushing tie dye, but it wasn't the lag.
Yeah, the tie dye was worse, but the disconnects weren't as bad, I don't think.
And there was horrible desync. Like, the one thing I minorly feel bad is the first time and the second time when we GTFO test is on their comms. Apparently they were yelling. Apparently they thought their friendly boosters boosted them 1,000,000 kilometers away. No idea how they came up with that. But they got desynced from there. So, like, if anyone's used capitals with facts and everything, you just get massive desync. You'll say, I'm 100 kilometers away from you, but you'll really be right next to them. Is the first GTFO just started desyncing their entire fleet. So, like, they were seeing that they were on different grids and everything. Like, it really is just low sec. It's horrible for fights.
Well, and speaking of booshing, like, the one boosh that happened where the guy was trying to split up the Typhoon fleet for goons, and he ripped like all the Logi wing of his own fleet away. Like, I'm assuming that was like an oh shit whoops moment, because that's about when I first started coming in and watching the fight. I'm like, oh, and because I was like, man, this just, I mean, the fact of how many supers PL had on the field is like, I don't think goons are gonna win this, just because of the big super fleet, and we don't have a super fleet up there to answer with.
I mean, you guys have like 500 dreads that you guys came up here and said, hey guys, we're going to drop on everything. We're rich. We have all this ore. We're going to throw our dick on the table every single time, and yet we haven't seen it.
That's not I was going to be getting into that.
Was on the table all the time. Thank you very much.
I've been fighting boat for like 7 years, and it is amazing to see the full circle of a whole brand new bunch of people that y'all motherfuckers have brainwashed that are crying about why our 2,600 man alliance won't fight 30,000 dudes without supers.
I don't know.
I mean, can you hear the smile on my face right now?
Yes, so you can't really call it brainwashing. Have you seen Horde lately? Galvin's is glorious with the amount of shit he's pulling out his ass. Well, I'm actually gonna give him a hug.
You know what? Like, I'm not pulling like a traitor comment here, but like the thing is, like, from the State of the Goonion, it made it sound like I thought that we were gonna bring all our supers up there too, because like we're gonna, like, basically Matani was saying we're gonna do a PL tactic and just base out of low sec and just drop our massive cap fleet. And in my mind, I was like, okay,
wait, your super's not here?
Well,
no, they're at 93 PI.
Wait, why didn't you bring your super?
Well, I'm not. Well, hold on. I don't have a super, so I'm a lowly scrub. I don't have one.
I brought my Leviathan. Where are you at, dude?
Yeah. Well, it's like I was saying. I was like, okay, so PL, like, suppose if we have a bigger cap fleet and PL drops all their supers, why don't we drop our bigger super fleet on them?
If we rolled up in front of Delve and parked our shit and socked, and we're like, hey, we brought like a couple hundred dreads and carriers and left our super fleet at home, we're gonna drop fucking citadels in your space.
Yeah. Now
the fucking Roland's fucking punishment machine that you would like unlock the front door with would be amazing. Like, I would expect nothing less. I wouldn't complain a single bit.
I'll be honest. The only reason
we
I brought
would do
my
the
Leviathan,
exact same thing.
I haven't logged in it once since I parked it into a POS. The only reason I brought it is because here in a couple of months they're gonna release the Garistas Titan at Vegas. And I have a guy up north who's going to get me the BPO, and I'm going to swap him a Leviathan for it.
Well, it's like now...
You laugh! I'm dead serious. I'm going to go park that thing in the middle of the star.
I'm sure. I was just saying, like, a disclaimer, like, my comment before, like, that was coming from a line member, so, like, I mean, I understand that there might be reasons why things aren't, like, there's a reason why we didn't dread bomb them the other night.
No,
because it's like, it's not my money. Like, like I can be like, why are we doing this? It's like, well, I feel like Billy. There's a reason I'm not in control of like trillions of ISK, and that's why.
So I can tell you, like, so you're gonna hear some of this on the Meta Show tomorrow, because apparently Earth is gonna come by and he's gonna tell us about it. But it comes down to, like, we're not cowards, like some of our. It's like, you look at Doom here. Doom won't fly his Rorqual. Like, I haven't seen him in a Rorqual since the war started.
Down
and
south.
That kind of tells you the situation that we're currently in. If Doom won't bring a Rorqual because he's afraid to undock 10 billion ISK, I mean,
my Rorqual's worth 100 billion ISK, but let's...
There were some changes to the Rorquals, just saying.
I know, like, that's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. He won't bring his Rorqual.
You can try to play that, but like I jumped in my Detta when I could have switched to an Aeon. If we want to play the coward card,
also, why do you keep
real men bring Rorquals?
Because I'm not going to FC a super fleet from a shield ship.
Why
I'm not
would you?
Stupid.
I would.
To be fair to the
That's
guy
why
Keys
Goons would
in
lose
chat,
the
I've been trying to
PL.
get y'all to feed me cap kills for way
Dude, we do
longer
realize
before
we won the Titan
2017.
fight, right?
I've been working this
You said
You haven't
for a
won
little bit.
anything. Like,
We
okay,
won
the
BR?
last time I hit my Rorqual hit the field, you got Jay lost his Titan and he
You
lost
know
his
we-
Revenant. You don't want me to drop it again.
You
You
know
don't
we
want
won
to know
BR,
that you'll
right?
lose again.
Doom, you know we won BR, right? We won the Titan fight.
Oh,
I'm just
okay, so
saying.
now
Yeah,
you're
we're
quoting
doing
a fight
shots
where
for the-
Manny was the FC.
Well, Manny's still better FC than 90% of PLs of current FCs.
Okay.
I mean, come on now. You guys had Manny, you had Elise. You can't get better than that, and you had Shadu.
I mean, you guys have Laz, and
We
you
didn't
guys
have
ignore
Shadu
him.
anywhere
so-
in that.
Wait,
whole
we
fight.
have Laz. Wait, when did Laz become an FC again?
He needs
Wait,
to.
you-
Why
wait a
do you
minute,
get
wait a
last
minute.
one?
FC
Okay,
in 2
so-
years. What are you talking
Well,
about?
Wait,
Laz-
why are
hey,
you quoting
come on.
Manny?
He's like an
and
FC
Elise if you
mentor
won't
now.
quote
Like, why don't we
Laz?
put him
There's
back on the
literally
field?
zero reason to fake that Laz had to teach a guy how to shoot fucking targets the other night. That was an actual legitimate thing that you had an FC waiting 5 minutes for missiles to hit a target, and then Laz had to actually correct his behavior. So let's not. Come on, stop being a
No,
fake
hey, but
motherfucker.
hold on. Let me ask you this. Hold on, Graf. You'll know this answer. And this is the reason I came on this show when I was invited. Why is it that Horde strategic level fleet commanders that have been
Holy
FC
shit.
and Horde
Is your
for a
mother
year-
that fucking blonde-haired bitch that talks for Donald Trump?
So hold on. So why is it that Horde? Hold on, Graf. You gotta tell me this. Horde has been FC in their own strategic ops for what, a year now? Since they've been doing so well. They have great FCs. Goblins is a great leader. Why hasn't Horde been able to FC a single fight in Losec yet? Why has it always been Capri or Killer B?
Why don't you ask? Why the fuck are you
I was
asking me?
told you're the
What
CEO
makes
of
you-
PL. That's what I'm asking
Yeah,
here.
no,
Yeah,
but
PL,
I'm the
not
CEO.
Horde.
Okay, so wait a minute. I'm the CEO of SNIG. I have nothing to do with Horde at all. Why the fuck would I know what they do?
I
Like,
don't
I literally
know. Someone
know
told me
nothing
you would
about
know
them. That's
this.
not-
I was so excited to find out the
Why
answer,
would I
the
know?
truth.
I don't have anything to do with like Horde. I have a girlfriend that lives with me. She's a director in Horde. She's been inactive for 9 months. How about that? That's what I know about Horde.
That's why I know about Horde. All my friends quit.
Explain,
The only
Joe.
one left is Goblins.
No, that's not true at all. There's like fucking 13,000 people there. They put out
I'm talking
massive
about,
fleet.
like, people
Are you
I
just
know
like,
there.
okay, are we gonna do this for like? This is what's gonna happen for 2 hours. You're just gonna sit there and be a fucking actual retard making up shit all night long. That's like verifiably false. Like that's what you're gonna sit there and do all the
But
whole
it's
night.
true.
That's your shtick.
Goblins, you can see his broadcasts. Like he has.
I'm
led a
asking
Horde
you a
FC
direct
FC
question.
since
Are
the
you
war
going
I
to
mean,
started.
listen
okay,
to me?
if we actually
You
want,
Donald
let's
Trump
actually give.
sounded
let-
motherfucker.
Okay,
I'm asking you a
okay,
direct
okay.
Let's
fucking
get the
question.
Horde
I'll
FCs
answer, Graf.
a bit
Here we
of-
go.
bit of
Here we go.
credit.
All right, you wanted me to answer. Show me one op fight in
Storm
Hakoden.
delay.
I
that
asked you an
Capri
actual
or
question,
Killer
and
B
you're
has
not
not
giving me
FC.
an answer that has anything to do with the fucking question I asked.
You want facts?
You are.
I'm giving
You are.
you
No,
facts.
I'm asking.
Okay.
Look, I'm asking you when somebody says, "Is this leaf green?" and you say, "Well, you know, in 1492," that's not the fucking answer to the question they asked you, Boat. Is the leaf green? Yes or fucking no? I asked you if you're gonna sit here and make shit up all night. That's like literally the question
No,
I had
I'm
directly
actually
asked you.
not gonna
Because
make
that's
anything
what you've
up.
been doing for the past 45
No, hold on,
fucking
hold on,
minutes.
hold on.
You're
Make
just
shit
sitting here
up.
making shit up the whole
Has
time.
Graf-
You make
oh,
shit
Graf,
up
Graf,
about
Graf,
the
hold
fight that happened. You make shit up about Crime Watch being created for fucking people in subcaps to fight carriers. You're the dumbest motherfucker I've ever heard. Are you? I mean, I'm serious. I'm actually serious. I'm offended that you exist right now. Are you just gonna sit here and make shit up for the next hour?
But where is where
Answer
is
the
anything?
fucking question,
I'm
Bo.
not
Jesus
making anything
Christ.
up. Let's be honest. I haven't made up a single thing. Elite.
Okay,
All right,
I gotta go.
Graf, hold on.
Great.
Here we go.
I can't fuck with this. This dude's an actual fucking
So,
idiot.
no, so
You
tell me,
chalk-eating
seriously.
piece of shit.
I have seen every single strategic broadcast for the Horde fleet.
Just
Everyone.
sit here and make it up the whole time.
And it's
that's
only
that's your
been
that's your
Capri,
plan.
and it's only been Killer B.
No,
Where's
it
the
hasn't.
Horde FCs?
I really feel like you're not giving
Like
them.
anybody
they have
can put
some
it on
really
the
good
board and see the
FCs.
fucking ping spam that they have during the course of the day. Like this isn't something that I feel I need to sit here and defend. You look like a fucking monkey sitting here making shit up. Like anybody can do it. Anybody that's in this fucking audience of 180 people right now can put in Alt and Horde and see the ping spam that goes on in that fucking thing that makes me like not want to be a part of their Discord that happens all day. You probably have your own, so I want to know why you feel it's okay for you to just sit here and actually lie. Like
But
I mean,
how
like,
is
these
that a
are
lie?
like
So
weak ass
show
dumb
me
fucking lies.
Show me where
Yeah, like-
a regular Horde FC is FC'd and
All
has not
day,
been a
they
PLFC.
ping all day, bro. They ping all fucking day. If I go to
And
work, I
it's
come
all
home, there's
Colombian
83 op pings that
Capri.
go by. You think Capri's pinging 80 times during the
So
course
we're
of the day.
talking about the fights in Hakoden. That's why.
swore a lot, and your mom fed you a lot of soap when you were growing up. I swear to fucking God,
wait,
you're
you
dumb.
say there hasn't been a single fight as if there's been more than 2 where we kicked your ass.
There have been 4 fights.
There have been 2 fights in Hakonen. There have been 2 fights in Hakonen, though, because there were 2 Fortizars. There were 2 fights in Hakonen, though.
Yes, 2 Fortizars.
Yes,
I didn't say fights.
There were
I said
2
fights, not Fortizars.
in Hakonen, Bo. The
I'm
other
not
ones were
talking about
Sodios.
just Fortizars. I'm talking about fights.
Okay,
I can't fuck with your fucking shit. Like, I'm not gonna. I got better shit to do with my Friday night than just fucking sit here and let you make shit up. Like, I just honestly don't give that much of a fuck, bro. I'll fucking roll out. You can sit here and tell as many lies as your fucking round little heart wants. I won't give a fuck, but I'm not gonna sit here and hang out with you while you do it. Like, this is like the level of fucking stupidity that you're displaying offends me that it exists in the world. I wish that you had wandered out in traffic and got hit by a bus. And I don't care if that offends other people. You're a dumb motherfucker. And the fact that you're sitting here fucking making shit up, and after I've shook your hand, you're like, okay, well, whatever. Now you're just gonna sit here and do dumb shit for 45 minutes and expect me to calmly sit through it like, hey, that's okay. It's not really. I mean, you can have a good fucking night and I'll just fuck off. It's no big deal. But, like, if this is your plan for the rest of the fucking night, the fucking Test Phoenix's wreck shop didn't happen. Didn't actually happen at all. All Crime Watch was made to a blur, blur, blur. Nobody pings and fucking blah, blah, blah. Are you fucking dumb? Come on, dude. You're fucking a better human being than this. Like, I know that you were responsible for other people's existence in this world, and that fucking disturbs me that you would just sit here and make shit up and that be your actual thing. Like, the fact that you have to fucking care for people fucking bothers me, that you are capable of just fucking flat-faced lying about dumb shit. Dumb shit. Too? Like, dumb shit. Like, it's real dumb shit. Like, and you're just lying. You just chose to, like, oh, I'm just gonna lie about it. Fuck it. Like, come on.
What? I didn't lie. I was in
you are actually
Where
lying.
have I been lying? I was in Bombers. I had fun with that. I enjoyed Crime
What was
Watch
Crime
because
Watch
I used
made
it to hunt
for,
low
Bo?
sec.
Did you just tell an actual lie when you said that it was fucking made so subcaps could fight capitals? Because that's a lie.
That's
No, that's a lie.
Look,
that's a
it
lie.
makes
That's
fighters-
not real. You're
it
just
calls
not what
it
it's
trash.
made.
You actually 100% fabricated that.
Well, that's what I believe.
That's
If
not
it's
real.
wrong,
I
it's
don't
wrong,
care if you
but that's
believe
what
it.
I believe.
This is not like some fake news bullshit. You don't get to fucking do that. I'm sick of your fucking people. I want you to get back on your ship and go the fuck back to where you came from, because things are real. They are based in fucking fact, and that is not a fact. Do you get that? You understand that? Like, you teach people. I need you to fucking tell me that you understand that facts are things that you can verify, and what you just said is verifiably not real, so it's not a fact. Can you do that for me? Do you understand English? Do you speak the language I'm fucking talking here?
Yes.
So you can't do that. You don't believe in facts. Please quit your job. I can't have another generation of fucking idiots like you. Like, this is nuts. I gotta go, Drayden. Y'all have a good night. You're a dumb motherfucker, Boat.
Bye, Graf. Thanks for coming.
God damn.
Didn't even say
God
Did
damn.
that actually happen?
Matt,
Yeah.
it just happened.
We hadn't got through all the fight yet. I had more questions.
I hadn't even got started on my troll.
we got Doom.
What?
Well, a lot of the questions, like, I mean, a lot of the questions are probably more for the FC. So I mean, Doom is probably better suited to answer these anyway. Are you sticking around?
Well, I don't.
Do we need to play GF and local here?
But no,
GF?
seriously, I'll be honest. I think the Phoenixes were like the dumbest thing ever. I don't even know why the fuck
So
people
you were just throwing that shit to trigger
Yes,
him?
I was.
Oh
Yes,
my
you
god.
bitch, damn right I
Yeah,
was.
he was poking me on Discord about it. He's like, you know
Yes.
what's going on? I'm like, yeah, I get
Okay,
it.
well.
That fucking dumb.
Look, man, those Phoenixes were gonna kill a fucking capital.
They weren't gonna do shit.
Like I understand ProGod thinks that he knows everything, and like I understand that, but ProGod, what the fuck were you thinking? Those Phoenixes were gonna get doomsday, let alone dread bombed. Like I saw the Titans, I'm going, Phoenixes dropping after Titans. Like when I heard it on comm, someone's like, yeah, looks like Horde Dredge Test Dredge are jumping in. I'm thinking, oh wait, they gotta call another Nyx. Guys, get ready to fleet warp. Like I actually told my fleet, get ready to go kill a Nyx. And then someone on my fleet's like, no, they're right there, next to the Fortizar. I'm like, wait, what? I was laughing so hard. I didn't expect Graf to get mad. Like,
Well,
It's Graf. Graf frequently
not like
goes
to
to
that
rage
level.
pretty quickly.
all right,
Alright,
we'll do a shot.
Like,
but
okay, so I'm like the least trolliest person, and I made him rage out on Talking Stations.
Oh,
So,
did you?
Yeah,
I've never made
Alright.
Grath rage.
because I asked a question about renters in the drone regions, and he fucking lost his shit.
Oh man, Okay, because one of the things I was going to get to tonight, which is just like one of those devil's advocate, I got to throw the comment out there, like super tinfoil hatty shit, and I know it's probably purely tinfoil hatty, but I was going to throw out, it deals with why the war is going on at the time it is, and then using the drone region stuff as a correlation. But you know, now that I've just talked about it, let me just throw it out. All right, so this is for Doom. Obviously, I know this is kind of like a rhetorical question. I know it's like, no, this isn't the reason, but so PL say, like, as always, like, PL's not after the SOV, right? You're just there for the fights. Although,
so
I've heard that before.
We do get renter income. Like, we're very open about. Like, are you talking about like tribute SOV or like? Or...
Well, no. So like the current fights right now, like, so you're not like you guys have been doing like, well, not, I don't know if necessarily PL, but definitely Pandemic Horde has been, you know, in toasting stuff.
Oh, PL has been too. We've acquiesced.
So it's not after the SOV, you know, quote unquote thing, but at the same time, I've heard that before. Like back when I was in the drone regions, we were basically like, you know, when Solar Fleet owned all the East, and then they had that like buffer meat shield against the Dot Bros, like all those little, you know, scrub alliances. I was in one of those, and you guys came up to fight us. And you're like, oh, we're not here for your SOV, we're just here for the fights. And so we were basically like, okay, as long as we fight them, we'll get to keep our space. And we kept fighting you guys. Next thing we know, our jump bridges are going down. Next thing we know, we're losing all of our space. Next thing we know, you've captured all of our space and we're evicted. It's like, but I thought you didn't want the SOV. And then it was because you guys actually did want the SOV because you were setting up your rental empire.
For renters, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like, now with the whole being that the new moon income, nullsec is the best place for these new moons that are going to come out with the winter patch, and lowsec is not the best place to be, you know, mining the moons at. Is this a SOV grab by you guys, like a stealthy SOV grab to get moon space out in nullsec?
Not really. I mean, just for the pure sake of spin aside, like we owned Tribute before this. I mean, obviously we took it from CO2, who then took it from someone else. Post World War B, we took it from CO2 and Test, and then we set up a rental empire. And then so you guys came up, and so for the first time in a long time, PL and C are playing defensive. So to say that we don't want the SOV is a little bit of a misnomer. Like, ha, we don't want the SOV. Who gives a fuck? Like, we'll take it back when you guys leave, because like you guys aren't gonna stay here forever. Because admittedly, we kicked you out of a space and we gave you the best space ever because you guys trolled all of New Eden and you guys ended up in the safest place possible. Like,
wait,
the best thing about this war too, is like, I
don't know about you. Like I got kicked out of I got kicked out of drone regions. Then we had two choices: migrate to NC Dot, which were like, no, they just kicked us out of our space, NC Dot PL, or go to Imperium, which was CFC back then. So we're like, okay, I guess we're going to Goons.
Have you guys been watching the test thing though? See, the big one is not what Goons are doing. It's the look on the test guys' face, right? Like on Reddit and on local and in chats I've had with individual test people, they're conflicted, right? On one hand, they hate Goons because Casino War and all that, and on the other hand, it's like, well, you know, you got these guys in PL here who just evicted us from Vale, so should we really be working with PL? And then you have on the other hand guys going, yeah, but they gave us our esoteric space. They helped us in Catch. And then like another head going, but we wouldn't be in Catch if it wasn't for getting kicked out of the North. And it's hilarious.
All right, we got
it's Capri. Hi, Capri.
Yeah, we got Capri Capri Sun Craft Foods with us. He wanted to come in, so welcome aboard.
I just read in Discord that someone was that Graf was roasting Boat, so I was like, this is relevant.
It did happen. It did happen. I gotta respond to Graf, but I can't because it'll fuck the cameras up, but I'll have to do it after the show.
I literally have a billion PMs right now going, oh my god, I can't believe that worked.
Inko, 6 months, thanks man. That's a good time for some shots, I'll say.
I didn't even hear it. What was he saying, Boat? Was it just like
it was Boat was saying that you were the only Horde FC and Graf was going all crazy. Boat was trolling. That's the TLDR is Boat was trolling and trying to bait a response, and he got the response and he just kept poking. But
Oh
like,
my God.
trolling aside, like, let's give like their FCs credit where credit's due. Like, they have some pretty solid FCs. And,
No,
like,
no, yeah, that's the thing they do.
Like,
That's
they have a bomber
No,
FC that's
do
amazing.
you know why I'm the one FCing? Because
Yeah, so
basically,
please tell
like,
me, because I was gonna have you on the meta show just
like
talk about
literally,
this.
because I haven't FC just shit for like 9 months, and I'm just absolutely keen because things are going on right now. So I'm just like Xing up for every big fleet. That's why I'm doing them all. dude.
Boogeyman, thanks
And
for
they're
the
just
sub.
letting me do it. Like, that's...
So I was like I'm watching like Horde strategic ops, and like every time you see a potential big fight, it's either Killer Bee or you going, "Hey, get ready to go." And when I asked Graft about it, he lost his damn mind, just like, "Oh, you making shit up? Horde's FC on their own." I'm like, why aren't we letting Horde FC their own like strategic ops? Like you have this big fight in Conan, and these hard-working Horde members can't even run their own fleets. It's like, oh, the poor guys.
I mean, it's not like they aren't the backup FCs or the anchors or the support structure. Like, it's just Capri just wants to FC that badly.
Yeah, pretty much.
PFC PL then. Tell everyone else
PL,
to get the fuck out of the way.
No, literally, hang on. I'm gonna screenshot it, right? I'm actually gonna screenshot it, right? I literally
I gotta hear this.
Here's the message that I sent to
hear a
Goblin.
screenshot?
I'm gonna screenshot it, right?
I
literally
like, please let me FC.
It was like, hey Goblins, PL is like not lacking FC power. Like, do you need anyone in Horde for this war? Because I'm really keen. I'm just hanging a thing. Just find the log. I'll screenshot it. But that's literally what it was.
Alright, I think people are saying that the volume's a little low still, so I'm gonna turn it up a bit. If you guys
They've
have,
been saying that since the start, man.
I have a friend in Horde.
Yeah, if you're on
sorry.
headset and you got it on max volume, just be prepared. I'm gonna turn the volume up quite a bit. So.
No, cause I got this friend in Horde, right? And who played with them a long time ago, and he's like, "So, who are all like the big name FCs in Horde now? Are they winning the war against you goons in the north?" And I'm like, "What Horde FCs?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" And I go, "It's all Capri and Killer Bee doing all the hard work." And he's like, "That's kind of crazy. I thought Horde had their own FC team." And I'm like, "Guess not." He's like, "Well, fuck this. I'm going back to Black Desert Online." I'm like, "Okay, bye."
Dude, there you go. I just put it in TeamSpeak and in like Twitch chat. Like that's literally I can't. Oh, I just got timed out. Never mind. You can't do that. But yeah, I just put it in Twitch chat if anyone wants to book it. That's literally the combo. The extent of this decision making process.
Pretty sure it's just Killa and Cappy Xing up faster, like at this point. Like it's just they want to FC that badly because like you could say why don't they FC like PL? It's because if Killa's FCing Horde, it's because like Headliner's FCing PL. If Capri's doing Horde, it's because in USTZ I'm doing PL. And
yeah, but like isn't Capri? Aren't you in like Hard Knocks? I'm confused.
Hard Knocks is PL all. We've been through this.
We're PL all, okay? Dude,
but I got told I was trolling when I said that. What? I'm confused.
No, they definitely are.
But I know what you mean. But here's the thing, right? So basically, think about it from my perspective, right? If I'm someone who enjoys FCing, right? Why would I go press F1 on Headliner's fleet when I could just FC Horde's Material fleet? Do you know what I mean?
I don't, because I'd rather press F1 in a fleet than FC anymore.
Yeah, but that's just you need people that still want to like.
I mean, let's put it like this: I've been playing this game. As of next week, by the way, I will be on my 10-year anniversary of EVE Online. And this is the first war in history of this entire game where I've looked at it, and I've fought in some pretty terrible wars, and I look at it and go, yeah, all PL are going to do is use Supers and Titans. Horde's going to be told what to do. Guards Galaxy going to be told what to do. All these low-sec guys are going to be told what to do. And it's going to pretty much be the same repeat of every war in the last 10 years.
But you guys came up here. Like, I get it. I get the spin and everything. Like, spin aside. What did you guys expect? You guys came up
to win.
Okay, but let's see the reverse. Let's say we came down there without our Supers and Titans, with just us and maybe NC, maybe Waffles too, but even them aside, if we just came with Dreads, what would you guys do every single time we took a battleship fleet into your space? You would drop your Supers and Titans on us,
I'm just here
and
for the
you
good
would
fights.
FC a bomber fleet, and our fleet would be gone, right? Like,
Bo,
that's probably what
listen,
would happen.
Dude, he's like ignoring the best part, right?
Wait, hold on. I'm not even FC'd. Hold on a second. I'm not even FC'd right now. Like
I know. I assume that whenever
why
there's a
would you
bomber
FC?
fleet,
Come on, dude. You're not even fucking allowed to FC a real fleet.
Capri,
right now.
I ran Sneaky Pete's the other night. That first Fortizar timer, and I was fragging so many things.
I just assume that every bomber fleet is you. I mean, it's just the same thing. Like if we came to your space, without like our big toys and everything. And then we turned to Reddit and said, "Oh my God, goons are dropping supers and titans on us. This is unfair." Blah 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 blah. Like Reddit would turn and say, "What did you expect? Like what did you expect from NCPL?"
You're mistaken. Real quick, I don't. It's not a problem that you're dropping supers and titans. That's not the problem. I'm just of the mind of. I have some news coming tomorrow about something related to this, but I'm of the mind that the game would be better if titans and supers were deleted from the game. And then you just had subcaps for subcaps, and then the game would be better.
I don't know, like I don't even fly Titans
it would make
and
it more
Supers, but I'm fine with them. Like they kind of feel like a trump card at times, but at the same time, it's like they're not saying like they're an end game, but they are that big shiny thing to like that a lot of people like to work towards, and I don't know, they have a function. They can be brought down. I mean.
Like, whoever in PL is hunting and delve right now, I want to give you, like, IS to support the effort, because you're doing in God's work by getting rid of as many supers as humanly possible.
I mean, we're not even denting you guys. Let's be serious. You guys have so much ore.
The only thing with supers that kind of makes me, like, a little kind of, like, with them is that a handful of supers is really powerful, but can be, gotten rid of. The only downside is, like, if you have a giant, massive horde of super capitals, you're kind of like the big dick on the block, and there's nothing that can stop you other than
you guys are goons. You guys have the biggest super cap Titan fleet in New York.
Which I know. If that's the case, why
you guys have more than NCPL?
Why don't we have that? Why don't we have that there? I thought that was the whole point. Is that we're gonna do the PL thing and just drop super caps on everything. So why haven't we done that?
I got the kill card. That actually blows my mind. Is goons have double our, like, if you guys knew how to use them, then DW.
Well, you're expecting us how to do it. We don't know how to fly our ships. We just have them.
Thank you very much.
You don't have a Titan. You have a Leviathan. Let's be serious. No, let's call it what it is.
Actually, I'll be honest with you. There's some new things coming that I got leaked to me recently.
I don't care what you have. You have a Leviathan.
Passive
it's not a real Titan.
Invulns.
I don't actually care. Like, shield Titans and shield supers aren't real supers and Titans.
Then you obviously have never flown a Leviathan, and you're missing out.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, see? When the Gristus Leviathan comes out, you're going to understand when I can use fighters.
Okay, so here's something that you're going to end up hearing a lot when we kill you. Your capacitor is empty. Your capacitor is empty.
But what does
your capacitor is empty, and then you have to use structure alarm.
Did you not look at the Gristus Leviathan? Did you not look at it? It gets 25% resist all to shields. Can fit passive invuln fields. Up to A-type. The Garistus Leviathan in EFT has more effective hit points passive tanked.
Like my mind is actually like I don't want to get. I'm not getting into the super Titan discussion, like which is like, let alone goons still have the biggest fleet. Like, so you guys could have brought everything up here, and you could have said supers or Titans or an I win button, and you guys could have just dropped it out, and we could have had a massive Duke. Now, it would have sucked in low sec. We probably would have all DC'd, and Boat would have fragged like 50 supers that are DC'd. Yes. Like, that all aside, we could have had that brawl. But when goons came up here, you guys decided not to bring them up here. It was just the war that was decided. And there was supposed to be a two-front war, but then we kicked ProGod out because diplomatically he was kicked out of his spade, his null sec staging. So now he has to stage from OPE. So the two-front war is now really one front war. And Test isn't really doing much to support the war effort. They're not really pulling their weight. So it really is just goons alone, at this point. I don't even count Test in this. But all that aside, yes, it's a really hard war for goons, but you guys knew what you were getting into, and that's why you guys brought all those dreads. But strategically, you just haven't been given the opportunity to really use them effectively against us.
And that might change. That could very well
spin
change.
Spin aside, I know, and your cap commanders know that if you had dropped your Titans or your dreads on us, they would have all died. Done. Because NC didn't even have their Titans in. We have our DDs. It was tie-dye. All your dreads would have died.
I don't even know why we even used dreads at all, because we were winning the fight without the dreads. If you take the dreads off,
that fight. You were losing that fight.
According to the kill board thing, we killed 120 billion.
Yes,
and we lost 200 billion. So if you take out the dreads,
Quick, no, don't say
vote me. I've got the EFT, the battle report right here.
Please. Look
unless you don't call Darkness
right?
citizens. Are you saying Darkness aren't part of this?
Listen,
because Darkness lost 95 billion ISK a couple days ago.
We're not saying, but we're saying even if you look at the ISK war, We still
won. Oh,
no,
yeah, we won
no,
easy.
you didn't. There was
Without the
250
dreads. No,
killed.
okay, you're missing the
without
dreads.
the dreads.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we weren't dumb enough to bring dreads, we win that war, that easy fight.
Yeah, but you
easy
were.
wins.
If we weren't dumb enough, if Darkness didn't bring in their supers, we would have won. Like, it's just like we could go back and forth.
Of course, Darkness brought their supers. It's
yeah, but
called,
of course, Tess brought their
Heal
dreads
Umbrella.
because ProGod is a moron.
Yes, but that's hold on a second. Hold on.
Wait,
That's not fair.
you can't say
call ProGod a moron in the same sentence.
you can't say Sort is dumb and brought his stuff in, and then I say ProGod is dumb and he's
No,
dumb
I never
his
said
stuff,
Sword is dumb. No, hold on. You said Sword's dumb for bringing his stuff. I never said he was dumb for bringing it.
Yeah, he was.
He was safe
He
for
didn't
bringing
need
it.
that stuff because we had it under control.
Oh, yes, he needed it. He was a contributing member of the North. Why can't he bring his supers the same as PL?
It's the same reason why NC
Hang
didn't
on.
fully
To
drop
be
everything. We
fair-
didn't need it.
To be fair, Doom, I got a serious question for you here. Have you heard about the Oracle changes?
Oh, I hate you so much.
No, see, but the Rorqual changes aren't that bad, though. They're actually good for the game because they allow you to bring Rorquals into low-sec fights. If you're not afraid of it, anyways.
I would
Okay,
need to be.
listen.
I would need to be in a. Next time, just drop the Fortizar in a belt, and then we'll see.
But then you won't bring your Rorqual if it's in a
No,
belt.
I need.
That's
I
the
need,
problem.
I need to lock.
I
I
have
need to
a-
have an asteroid to lock to panic. Didn't you hear about those changes? I heard about those changes.
Oh, no, I didn't hear about them.
Okay, but listen, so here's the problem you're saying about you winning that fight, right? You
Yep.
don't even need to look at A scores, there's no aggregate statistics, right? You basically go to like Z Killboard and then you click Conan and then you click back about 3 pages, right? To like get to that
Yeah,
day.
and you'll see good
And
victory.
what you see is like about 5 to 6 typhoons dying for every Macarial or Abaddon. Like,
Yes,
it's
I
not
know. So listen to this.
complicated. Like,
5 typhoons is 1 billion. 1 Macarial is 1.3 billion.
yeah, but okay, but this is like
So that's the
if-
whole point. Like,
if
you kill
can
90
just, you can
Macarials.
follow this
We could
argument.
lose
No.
500,
I get
600 typhoons.
Well, no, I understand the I-score thing, right? Because the I-score thing, you're right, it's not a non-factor, right? But the thing is, if you follow this logic, then why don't you just fly Thrashers? Because then you'll be really escapist.
But we are flying
you know what I
Thrashers.
mean?
Did you not see the fight today? I flew claws.
Yeah,
you know?
dude, why don't
And I
you
killed
just,
the rattlesnake, and then like they killed my whole fleet, and I was very sad because I had to like.
Probably won that claw fleet.
No, wait. What do you mean you won? You weren't there. I'm talking
Proverbial
about.
we.
No, I'm talking about Horde. Like when I went to Horde Space today, I took like 50 claws
Oh,
there.
because NCPL
And I lost all
definitely
my
won
claws.
one that they
It
were bragging
killed-
about.
Oh no, that was
Like bragging
Wait,
about a claw
it
fight
was
in
Doom. I
itself is
did
weird.
kill you. You brought in like wait no, you're dead.
No,
You're not
no, it
Dancool.
wasn't
Never
me.
mind.
That was a CVA fleet. That,
No,
and
it
then
was
you-
Dancool.
No, you killed
Dancool
Danco's
warped in.
Dancool.
I was at work.
Yeah, they had 4 rocks they warped in, and we killed them all.
Like,
I don't know
but
what
I
he was
used to
thinking.
have this argument with Villy like all the time about Maelstroms versus
Villy?
Macarials, right? Yeah, Villy. Like when I was
Oh,
in
that
Test,
guy.
we used to have this thing like back and forth all the time, right?
Yeah,
and he used
Maelstrom's
to be
on.
like, Maelstroms are like so isk efficient. I'm like, yeah, but we don't
Yeah, they
want to be isk efficient. We want to win. Like, okay, you can be really isk efficient, but you can be really isk efficiently lose every fight.
Dude,
like
dude,
sometimes
hold on.
you do want to win a fight. Like,
I don't mean to rudely interrupt here, but y'all just see what that fucking guy Zarvox just did? The
No, what
fuck
did
is
he
he
do?
smoking?
I try not to watch
Starbucks.
18 billion isk worm. Like what the fuck?
Oh,
What?
How do you even- how-
Just a few
donated
seconds
that
ago.
stuff.
He
How
lost?
do you
Did he
even
lose it?
fit 18 bill on a worm?
So he fit a
Oh, he has
7.
unit DDDA. That's
Yeah, he had a unit
You- like-
DD.
Oh,
The only way I
what?
can think of is like you put
he had
the
a flex.
top
He had a
officer
flex.
mods in
Better.
every slot.
Apparently hit 2800 plex and a unit DD inside his ship. The fuck is he thinking?
Well, okay, so 2800 plex. That's
Clearly
a bit
not
of it,
thinking.
But
Yeah, that's 7. That's like 7 or 8 bill.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
okay,
the
so that's
unit
not-
DD is like 8
The
bill.
unit DD is like 8
Alright.
bill, right?
I thought you meant like 18
Why
bill and just
are
the
you
fits. I was like, I don't even think
flying
that's.
fucking-
I don't think you could
he
possibly
it's
fit a worm with
He gets
18 bill.
donated it. He gets given these ships, and people just like seeing him with expensive.
Yeah, I
loss
could give it
nails.
as too, but I'm still not
No,
gonna spend
it
on
wasn't
this
asked. He gets given these ships, and he has to fly them.
That's
That's
like-
like his
What
theme.
do you mean? Why
okay,
do you
okay.
have to fly them?
Because it's
called
his
a
theme.
cheetah.
Like,
It's called market. Go
Well, it's
to
like
cheetah,
the
sell
it's like the
motherfucker.
thing with Rain when she lost that yacht, the
Yeah.
dev yacht. I was like, she
Yeah, how did
linked
that
that
even
kill mail.
happen?
I'd never seen the thing before. I was like, what is that ship? Is that good? She's like, it's a dev ship. I'm like, oh. How much
Like, I
is that
don't
worth?
like-
It's worth nothing. I'm like, then why is it a big loss? She's like, no, it's worth nothing because you're not allowed to sell it. Like,
It's like blowing up the Mona Lisa. Like
yeah, I know.
it's not supposed
You're right.
to.
I was like,
you put
oh, you done
put a hole in
fucked
the Mona
up.
Lisa, and it's not going to be worth anything, but it's going to be worth a lot to whoever just put a hole in it. You know?
Yeah. Well, it was the funny thing is it was her boy Blue Melon that fucking shot it.
That I didn't understand. Like, why?
I was like, man, Blue Bellinger boy, what the hell is he doing shooting?
Because they had a bet I can kill it, and then it was like a bet you can't, and then well
the funny is like the most.
How much trouble did she get? That's the question.
I don't know. She didn't say she got in much trouble, and Logibro gave her another one, I guess. But
yeah, but LB had a great analogy of what that should happen to her, right, LB?
What's that?
She was gonna do the walk of shame down Reykjavik.
Oh yeah, well, probably not naked.
Shame.
Vegetables thrown at her, or they don't have vegetables in Iceland. They have fish, so they just throw fish at her.
Oh, it'd be so stinky.
I suggested throwing the rotted shark meat at her, but she kind of withdrew that one.
Greenland sharks.
Yeah, she didn't like that one, so I said, okay, I'll pull that one back.
No, Theed, I said not naked.
Why would you want her to go naked? I don't understand.
There's lots of reasons why you'd want her to go naked.
Well, Cersei
I would assume that it's not like she's not.
But that's Cersei, though.
True.
She's an actress. I'm pretty sure she's not an actress.
Yeah,
you can go naked if you're an actress, not if you're an actual regular person.
I wouldn't go naked down the street for a walk of shame. Fuck that. I'd wear a banana
hammock. I would for the right amount of money.
Nah, there isn't enough money.
Yeah, like 50 plex. I mean, you could probably.
All right,
not even that. Like, I like my teaching job. Why would I do that?
So, anything else on the war up in Hykoken in the north? Because we can move on to the.
Yeah,
patch.
Hold on. I got lots of stuff for the. Well, I don't know. Maybe lots of stuff for the war. I think you've already asked it, but I don't know if we got an answer. Why are the Goon Supers not in mass in the north?
Because you don't need them
to defend Del.
Because we don't need them. We got dunked by supers.
Okay, so why bring supers? What
to
benefit
dunk their
is there?
supers? Like
what's
yeah?
I've already done that. Like why do it again?
What do you mean we've already done that? We haven't done it.
Strategic.
Like I've been hacking Solve, and I actually, let's be honest, I've said this on the Meta Show millions of times, and I say it here now. I enjoy Fozzie Solve. I like taking a frigate and hacking the Solve.
Well, Fozzie Solve's fun too, but I like.
Carriers don't stop hacking.
I like seeing BTEC R 2.0. I mean,
can you tell me about what is your goal? Like, so
what is my goal up here?
No, not your proverbial. What is the Imperium's goal?
No fucking clue.
I think just to shoot stuff. That's my goal.
You gotta understand something.
My goal is like the wars are up north, and if you want fleets and fights and content, you go north. Like that's why we're fighting. That's me as a line member. I don't know what the upper leadership's intel and backroom like plotting and stuff is all there for, but I'm there to just shoot shit.
Yeah. So as far as alliance level, I have no idea. I space retired like 3-4 months ago, from that type of position. But as far as like why I'm there to hack Solve. Like I'm there to prove that Fozzie Solve is still legit. They should keep it, and that's literally the only reason I've logged in. Like I logged in for the 2 Conan fights.
Like it's CCP.
Yeah, I know.
You don't actually need to worry about it.
I enjoy it. Like I enjoy Fozzie Solve. Now, of course, my alliance probably like 99% of them disagree with me. Probably all of Eve disagrees with me. But I think it's a very balanced thing. It requires subcaps. Like yeah, you could use a few facts, but you're not going to put a Titan or a super carrier to hack a node, right? So it balances that out.
No, you wouldn't use it to hack a node.
Like you saw what happened.
But if a strategic objective comes under fire and the enemy drops a supercat fleet, if we have a bigger supercat fleet,
look at the Northern War before us, right?
Like, well, I'm just hold on. Like, I mean, like this is just if they drop supercaps and we have a bigger supercat fleet, we should be able to beat their supercat fleet. Why don't we just drop the bigger supercat fleet and just like have BTEC R 2.0? Like just
like look at BR. BR is never going to happen again. As many
there's
probably millions of people that ask for it. It will never happen.
What if the other night on the 2 nights ago they dropped all their supercaps, they dropped their Titans. What if we all of a sudden dropped twice as many supercaps and Titans?
Then all of ours would have never have loaded and they would have all died.
You could, well, I mean, the shoot on spec question is some low side.
So it's a server issue, not a why we don't do it.
Like there's no, the game can't handle it. And if the game could handle it, it's still such a clusterfuck. Like I was there at BR, right? I got to Doomsday 6 times. I got 6 kill mills with my Titan. I crashed once. And in that crash, I was down for 30 minutes and I had Travis Muskrat PMing me the entire time on Skype going, "Your next DD target, just so you're aware." And then I logged back in and he's like, "Well, guess you're not going to be DD target." And I never got shot at. And I had to go to work. I had to go, like I was doing student teaching then, right? And I had to slow boat out of bubbles. It took me 3 hours to get to a friendly pause. At one point, I literally told the Goon FC that was like in charge of our Titans at that moment, because it wasn't him calling targets, he was just in charge of them, that I'm logging off. I gotta go to bed. It's 3 a.m. I have to be up in 3 hours. If I die, I die, right? Like I'm just gonna wait till downtime. That'll never happen again because today's Eve has changed. Nobody's gonna sit there through that shit. No one's gonna drop their. No one's gonna get themselves.
That was like
into a
started
position.
in the morning, ended at downtime. Basically,
It's a perfect storm. Like it happened.
That was
once
a 19,
on the
20-hour
Chinese
battle.
server. So the BR of China happened like a couple weeks later, and then like a couple years later, they had one that was gonna be like it. The difference is like the one group had 30 Titans, the other group had 200, and like the 30 or 40 Titans got obliterated. And then there was just no point. Like, the thing is like, you see these low-sec fights. You haven't seen us use caps in 0-0, so you're not going to see that. You're not going to see caps in 0-0. Why? Because AoEDDs, 3 AoEDDs can wipe out 400, 500 dreads in one swoop. Like, you get hit with 3 lances.
So is that why dread bomb is not really like a thing anymore? Just because the Titans can just...
Like
if they have the right DD fit, like they just like, oh, nice dread bomb, bam, dead.
Yeah, if you jump in 3 or 4 Titans in the middle of a dread bomb and they're all dead. Like, you saw that with Test. Test got lanced 3 times and lost all their dreads in one of the battles up for tribute when they dropped Titans.
No, they didn't.
Now, one of the questions, real quick,
because I FC'd that fight too. I know they didn't because they bounced so horribly.
So there's a great video. Like, do you guys know who K Color is? He made a video of this once. Like
K Color was a really bad
Color's awesome.
FC.
I loved.
Yeah, I like.
Anyway, so
he's
that's all I know about him.
I've only been on like maybe 6 or 7 Capital fleets, but it's always been K Color fleets. So
right, so K Color did a video to show CCP just how bad lances were, where 100 dreads undocked on the test server and 3 Titans lanced them, and every single all of them died. Like they even hit their little like 20-second invulnerability and they were just dead.
But the problem is it's like a synthetic benchmark there, right? Like that's not actually a real test. Like no one is gonna be like, okay guys, everyone undock your 100 dreads at exactly the same time and immediately hit siege.
Well, that's the thing. Though. Like nobody has bothered
never
to.
Gonna happen.
Nobody's actually bothered to use dreads and like you haven't seen it.
We did,
yet, right?
We did against CO2.
Loads of people have tried it. I've been on both.
Wait, we're CO2
It
Titans.
doesn't fucking work.
Wait, you guys dropped dreads in the middle of CO2 like Titans?
Yes.
Like when they had like 30, 40 Titans already on field.
No,
I'm not talking about that dread bomb where you killed those 5 that were being dumb by themselves and at the 0.
They weren't by themselves. They came in to rescue our work roll. Like their entire super fleet started dropping.
But it was like 5. I watched the video.
Yeah, because CO2 has like...
Look, that's like saying, oh, we dropped dreads on an FCon.
Wait, but all you need,
and there's all their supers
3.
came.
Man, I had a really good question and I forgot it now. Son of a bitch.
But the problem is while you and a bunch of other people have spent the last fucking year and a plus sitting in the south, just like rubbing your beards, just pontificating upon these things. Like a bunch of us have like the last year and a half actually doing them and seeing what happens. Like it doesn't work, dude. Like,
worked for me. I lanced the shit out of some dreads the other day. It was so good.
I really feel like you guys haven't. I mean, you've siloed in your entire capital fleet. Bounties suck. Like you're not going to get those perfect lances that like everyone like visualizes. The lance like area isn't as big as people think it is, and when the general line member silos in, hit siege, and they bounce going like 150 meters per second, they're going to be outside of that lance pretty fast.
Oh yeah, those people are dumb. Like, why would you jump in to hit siege? Why don't you spread out a little bit first and then?
Like that's like even in PL, that's like 70% of pilots in Eve. Like they'll jump in.
Even if you don't jump in and hit siege, you're still like, dude. Here's like a thing I tested, right? You know how I made that stupid video of like BFGing a Haven, like with the Titan, like when they first came out. So I did try to do the same thing, you know, with like a ring sanctum, how it's just like everything spawns in the middle of the rings. So I basically like positioned an avatar dead on the center of the ring, right? And you literally can't even like saying for your guys because they'll know what a sanctum looks like, right? You can't even like lance a sanctum. Like the radius is too small. Like it's absolutely tiny. Like even the most infinitesimally small bounce on a Sino in, even if you don't hit siege right away, is gonna move you out of the way. It's too small, dude. Like
it's also like you're probably even if you told CCP, they're gonna give you the same answer they told me when I complained about bumps with fleet warps and Sino ins. Just use multiple Sinos, Doom. So, boat, just use multiple Sinos and you'll be safe.
I don't complain. I don't ever complain at CCP. Like, their game design hasn't been a problem for me in 10 years. I think I've complained about one thing, and that was like 6 or 7 years ago. I liked Fozzie Solve. I liked the Citadel mechanics. Crime Watch works the way I like it. Like, I don't complain about these things because
we're not complaining about the game.
No, that's what you guys are.
We're saying,
like when
we're
Draft
saying
got
this
mad
is how
earlier.
the game works, and you're putting your fingers in the air saying la la la. No, it doesn't.
No, I know how the game works, and that's why I like it. It works the way it's intended.
Okay. So real quick. Now,
sorry.
I remembered my question, and this is about dread bombing. So when you like, I have a like. You guys know this better. Like, I have trouble like grasping the concept of like dread bombing, like why it's viable, because it's like, what is it, like 30 to 40 dreads is a Titan, depending on the dreads fits and the Titans fits and stuff. Like 30 to 40 dreads is one Titan, right?
Kind of. Cost wise,
yeah. I mean, it's
cost wise.
If you're just going on ISK War, like the value.
Actually, kind of. It's 30 to 40 dreads is probably worth more now, just because of Titan prices. But anyway.
Okay, well,
Titan prices are down 75 million.
Okay, billion. So like, that thing even makes my question even more viable. So like 25 to 35 dreads, we'll just say, is a Titan price. So 25 to 35 dreads could kill a Titan if it's by itself, but in a big super fleet, if you drop 25 to 35 dreads, they are all going to die very quickly and not kill a damn thing. So you need to drop even more than that, maybe 100, like 1 to 200, probably 200 dreads to kill a Titan or two.
It's really simple. Okay, so like what you do is like what you're doing is you're comparing like a smaller ship versus a bigger ship, right? So just jump it down a few scales, right? Imagine you have like 5 Cerberuses, right, versus like 100 Thrashers. Okay, now a Cerberus will eat any Thrasher for lunch. Okay. Right. But if you get 100 Thrashers, they're going to eat the Cerberuses alive, right? You're going to lose half the Thrashers.
Right, but if that Cerberus is by itself or in a couple Cerberus, but if you have like a fleet of Cerberuses and you bring in even 2 fleets of Thrashers, those Cerbs are going to crush those Thrashers.
Yeah, so you're never dropping like 1-to-1 numbers of dropped. What
you're dropping
you're dropping
50,
like
30,
200 dreads.
So like you drop 200 dreads into a giant super blob like you guys dropped.
Well, you're not.
All those dreads are going to die. So like Imperium is going to lose all of those dreads.
Yeah.
And you might kill 1 or 2 Titans, but 1 or 2 Titans is like half the price of all of those dreads. So why do it?
Drayden, the thing is, what you've basically, you're absolutely correct. That won't work, right? You have thus identified why we spent the last week and a half making fun of them for saying they're going to come up here and win with caps.
Well, okay, so because I was like I said, I was watching Averin's stream, and he was saying like, oh, they might dread bomb, and I'm sitting there going like, if they dread bomb, unless they're dropping like 1,000 dreads, the dread bomb is gonna be just like a bigger ISK sink into the goon wall.
Right, it would basically like it's your hammer, like it's Goon's way to keep PL and NC moderately honest, so we're not just like dropping solo Titans and supers and
right. You guys gotta drop the whole hammer.
We have to drop the whole hammer and be always ready, and like that's probably strategically why Goons brought them up here. Now, if you even dropped all of those, you probably wouldn't kill any Titans, because you'd have to choose through faxes first, and if you shot a Titan first, you're kind of just like shooting yourself in the foot.
If you dropped a whole dread bomb fleet, you might kill one Titan and lose the entire dread fleet, and that's like, okay, you lost like $500 billion to kill 100 billion. Like,
right, it's basically you guys jumping in, saying "fuck you," and we're gonna burn through every single one of your faxes, and
that just doesn't really work.
And you guys would burn through every single one of our faxes. It just becomes like a war of attrition. Like it's one of those things where, like, at the end of the day, Goons have more ISK than we do. You guys just do. You guys have a bigger infrastructure than we do. You guys just do. You guys have more work walls and more ore. And you guys, if you guys wanted to pump this out and make us bleed apostles, eventually you guys would win. Because you guys can build more than we can. So eventually that would win, but that's not really the war that you guys are up here to do. It's more just to poke at us and everything, and Savwan and everything, and cause us to form and everything, and then to keep us from just dropping supers. Like, that's why you guys have the dreads. It's not so you can win a fight.
It basically forces you guys to drop the whole fleet and not, like, you know, we'll just drop like 10 supers to, like, you add some damage. Like, we have to drop all of it or none of it.
Right. It's so that an FC, so like I had to be around to ping rather than just like a random line member going, I'm just gonna drop my nicks on this random like Thrasher gang. I'm gonna go kill Boat. Like if that happens, Boat would then tackle him. They would then probably commit their like a couple of dreads, and then he would be dead. Like that's just how it would happen. So that's really why you guys. It's more of a balancing act.
That's why I was pretty sure. Like when they were talking about like, oh, it might be a dread bomb here. I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I mean,
right, but like during a fight, we're gonna full on mock you guys for bringing them up here. Like,
well, right. I'm just saying, like I was watching the thing. I was like, I'm no tactician, but I'm pretty sure we're not dropping a dread bomb. When some dreads came in, it's like, okay, they might be trying to kill like a specific target, but
yeah, you guys like, focus
like the number of supers and titans you guys had on field. It's like we're not killing that unless we drop a bigger super fleet. Like that's the only way we kill that.
It means we need to suit up. It means to make sure we have our apostles ready to go and like everyone on staff. Like it's just that it makes us suit up basically, which is extra work.
Sweet. Drayden, you see Dirk's in chat?
I did see Dirk's in chat.
Oh my god, he is?
Yeah, he's on his wife's phone because he got locked out of his own phone somehow.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it was like, he was actually like, he posted on a thing earlier on Twitter, he was like, it was Miss McGurk, but he's like, signed Dirk, because his phone,
yeah, Mrs. McGurk Twitter is like,
what do you, how do you lock yourself out of your phone? Like, you just forget your password or your like swipe key code thing?
Big question is, was he secretly watching when Graf freaked out and left?
No, he was not here at that point.
Yeah, we would have seen him.
He'll check it out.
That's true.
Like, Dirk is one of those that he will rewatch all the VODs. I don't, because I'm like, you know what, I make a fool of myself every show, so it's like, I don't need to see that again. I'll just hear stories and be like, yeah, that's cool. I'd like to forget about it. So
the only VOD I ever watched,
as they are.
The only VOD I ever watched was FanFest, and then yeah, I'll never do that again.
Oh, FanFest. Well,
yeah.
I never saw the FanFest VOD, but like.
Oh yeah,
Did
no.
you do some dancing, or?
No, it was just I made utter stupid comments and like I normally do.
Nobody cares about that. It's just comment, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
anyway.
go dance. I do some dancing at E-Vegas. It's not good, but I fucking dance a storm up. If you guys go to E-Vegas, come find me. I'll fucking dance. I'll dance.
Will you dance the night away?
Yeah, I'll dance the night away.
Grinding it. All right. So, anything else on the war? Because we still got some patch notes to go through.
Oh well, hold on. Are these the patch notes we went through the last 2 weeks?
We kind of have. I don't know if there was like, some more detail fleshed out, from the release today.
There's patch notes released, but I think they're the patch. They're just saying like these are the patches that are getting implemented that we've talked about for the last.
And they
weeks.
did have like a new agency update that's going to go live on the 15th. If you've seen the agency now is gone, so there's a new agency missions coming. But of course, I'm looking through it. We've talked about it for the last 2 weeks, and it goes in a little more detail as far as patch notes and release. That's coming up on Tuesday. Of course, we talked about scanning. We talked about beta map, the new UI, captain's quarters going away, some game change and defects, fixes. But yeah, nothing that we haven't talked about. It just goes in more detail. I will link the patch notes in chat.
There we go.
By the way, thanks for having me, guys. I gotta get going.
All right, take it easy. Guys, thanks for coming on, man.
Bye, Boat.
Yeah, bye, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to keep talking about the war more, like, because I mean, they're just, I mean, I don't know if I have any like immediate questions on hand, but like, I love hearing about this thing because now one thing I'll get into, like, this is another thing, like just a line member compared to FC's thing, because the line members, which is me, like I never know what's going on. I'm not in the intel channels. I do not have any connection to like leadership other than the fact that I know Boat, I know, some other people, but like other than that, like I don't hear anything from them. So it's like a lot of times now I'll use last night's fleet that I went on as an example of the disconnect from the line members and the upper leadership and FC's intel. And obviously you need to have a disconnect there because, you just can't like lay all the intel out on your sleeve. But so we were in a fleet and we were supposed to be quote unquote protecting these Astrohuses that we were onlining, and obviously some are gonna die. We knew that. And
is
we're
this
just
the
hoping...
one yesterday where I like killed half your Typhoon fleet on the way home?
Yes, I was in that fleet. Well, it wasn't half. You guys killed like.
You're like all excited. You're like,
yeah, you killed like 50 to 20, right?
But I was on the opposite side. I was in the jacked off fleet. But
yeah, like people were trying to say, oh, we only lost 3. And I'm like sitting there like I was actually watching Averin's stream. I'm like, no, I see at least 12 Typhoon wrecks on the M-Tech or on the Tazy Gate.
Well, so what happened, right? Was basically we were like my Mac fleet was just sitting. I say my Mac fleet for Horde, right? We're sitting bashing this Citadel. Literally like 30 seconds left until it explodes. Like you guys undock, warp to the gate, and basically like I think about 20 Typhoons got tackled on the first gate, and then maybe like another 15 on the next gate. So it was probably like, I don't know, it was like maybe 30 typhoons. Like we killed half and NC killed the other half. Like,
oh, okay. So you guys got more than
yeah,
I
like
thought.
so you saw the ones on the Tazy gate, right?
Yeah,
There was maybe about that again caught on the gate before.
Oh, okay. Now let me give you like, oh man, I knocked over my Tito's bottle, but luckily it hit the wall and didn't spill, so we're good.
Why isn't the cap on it?
Because I don't like that's ease of access, DC. Ease of access.
Right, I'll give you that.
All right. So anyway, I don't know if this is OPSEC. Fuck it, I don't care. The fleet's over, so if I get burned at the stake afterwards for this, I don't care. So
I'm gonna be OPSEC for something in the past.
Yeah, there's no OPSEC for the past. So we were in the Foon fleet, and we were supposed to be protecting these Astrohuses, and eventually we get the call, like, all right, everyone warp, keep at range 2K, which obviously is, okay, we're going to the Titan, we're going to bridge. And we bridge to the Titan just in time to see the Astrohus die. It's like, okay, we've been sitting in system for 25 minutes. Obviously, you guys knew that this Astrohus was getting shot at for quite a while, because Astrohuses don't die in 5 seconds, so it's like, why did we not bridge earlier?
Dude, I don't want to. I'm trying to think. Like, I'm probably gonna need to bite my tongue a little bit here because I feel like the same situation is gonna come up again. All I'll say is that basically, like, our coordination on our side and your coordination on your side, absolutely atrocious.
On both sides, was it both?
It was horrible.
But I'm just saying, it's like why did
so bad?
Like, so everyone was wondering, like, there was actually one guy that got shouted out. Like everyone was like, kind of like, why didn't we bridge 20 minutes ago when we were all sitting on a gate just waiting?
So we said that we had the same thing going on our the coordinated
Yeah,
comms.
exactly.
Like,
Marcia's calling for shots.
Okay, I will do a shot.
Here's the thing, right? Is I'll tell you actually. See what you're saying happened there, Drayden, where you bridged onto it like 10 seconds after it died.
We
right?
had the same thing happen.
We bridged in, watch it blow up, and watch the Serb fleet warp away.
No. They bridged onto a Citadel like 10 seconds before it went online.
So
yeah, you guys killed it just in time.
No. They were 10 Citadels onlining. So we had to juggle, and so you had the same comment. You guys came in 10 seconds too late. NC came in 10 seconds too late, and you're like, we should have bridged in 20 minutes sooner. Capri was yelling at them, telling them they should go like 20 minutes sooner. Like the exact same thing that you guys did, we did.
Yeah, well, so that's what I'm saying. Is like, it's like, okay, so that's the disconnect between like the line, because the line member sees like, we bridged in as it dies. We've been sitting here forever. Why didn't we bridge in to like try to defend this? And I'm sitting there going like, okay, I understand that the FCs have intel in their ear that we don't hear, all this other stuff. So it's like, okay,
you guys.
There's obviously info, like maybe we didn't bridge in because what was shooting the thing wasn't the full force that was there, and if we jumped in, then 2 fleets would jump on us, and it was like a suicide bridge that we'd all die and not see the objective anyway, stuff like that. And
the problem with with these big complicated things where you have like 3-4 fleets on each side, right, is really to make it work. You need someone on your side who's like a big picture guy, who's not FCing a fleet, who's not doing anything particularly important in any fleet. They're just like basically setting up with like Dotlan on one screen and like Intel channel and Mumble on the other, right?
That's
and
generally where like Vince comes in, when Vince
this is what
us.
Vince is fantastic at this, right? Like this is what his real claim to fame is. And you just need someone doing that, and we didn't have someone doing that night, and it was really obvious that you guys didn't either. So that was all the anthem.
Okay, so it was just a lack of intel, you think, then?
No, it wasn't Intel.
Well, I don't think it was Intel. I think there was just too much going on, and nobody could say, you need to be here right now, and you need to be here right now.
So a lot of it was, because I wasn't FCing last night, I think because I was tired from Conan. And so I think Happy was one of the only people that actually FC'd Hakone, like one of the bigger fights in USTZ, and was still like going. I was like, I'm taking the night off. So we had another FC going. So there was no like overarching like orchestrator like saying like what to do.
We had a Jackdaw fleet out, and I was on the Jackdaw fleet, and we were doing very well.
I was saying, it sounded like you guys actually got the action last night, because you guys were killing stuff, and like I was like, I had the choice. I got in late because I was like, okay, the Foon fleet is still camping, and the Jackdaw fleet is just forming. I'm like, do I want to go on Typhoon fleet or Jackdaw fleet? I'm like, I'm going on a Foon fleet. And
I went
you guys
Jackdaw.
got the fight, and we got the bridge in too late. Oh shit, we're behind enemy lines. Hide in the station. Oh, they're distracted. Everyone undock, run. And like some people got caught. And it's like the chaos in the fleet comms was amazing. It was actually really fun because it's like everyone undock, and like, obviously there's the people that are stragglers. They don't do it immediately, and so I was in the forefront. So like I didn't get caught, but it's like okay, we started warping to the MTech O gate, and it's like as we were landing on the MTech O gate, and I was jumping through, it's like 2 dictors came on the gate. It's like, okay, some people are getting fucked because there were still people in comms saying like, okay, I'm undocking. Where do I go? I'm like, you're fucked. I didn't say it, but it's like, you're fucked. That's what you do. Like, you just dock back up. But they tried to warp anyway, and they're the ones that died in VTAC. Was it VTAC O or something like that?
BO, yeah. So we were bouncing around from Astra House to Astra House, system to system, and we were doing pretty good until the end, where we got murderized by the Serb fleet that was just outnumbered us.
Was it MC and Serbs?
I think it was. I didn't look
MC
at the kill.
MC had been the true heroes of killing the Astros. Like,
yeah.
Like, I want to give MC a lot of credit. Like, so while Capri and I were on field for the Hakonan fight, you guys had 10 Astras onlining in space, and so rather than be at the Hakonan fight getting like all the dang frags or sitting in tie-dye, I think MC killed 9 out of the 10 onlining Astros.
Well, there was a Horde secondary fleet as well helping them, but yeah, I think it was like MC had like their fleet split in 2, maybe 3, and then they also had like a 4th Horde fleet as well, like helping them out. So yeah, they're just heroes, dude. Like I just left them to it, and they just dealt with it. Like,
I mean, we did. I think we annihilated the Horde Tal War fleet. So they were pretty much murderized, and we were picking people off one by one here and there. And then all of a sudden we jumped in and we were like, okay, let's hold. And here comes the Serb fleet. And there was like 80 Serbs to, 60 Jackdaws. That was just not a good fight.
Yeah, it was
hey,
a direct counter.
Drayden, you want to just remember something else funny? You know how you said you jumped through the gate in a MTACO and there was like 2 dictors there?
Yeah.
So you probably would have got your entire fleet tackled, right? Except literally 90 seconds before you undocked, you got told to undock.
Yeah.
The PL fleet stood down, so everybody left Mumble.
Wow.
Like not even 2 full minutes. So everybody left the Mumble channel, and then we're like, I think it was Headliner was like, oh dude, get your dictors, go, just go to these gates, get your dictors. He's like, oh dude, I just stood them down, everyone left.
We dispersed fast, Gabriel.
When I landed on the gate, the bubbles were already up. So luckily, that means I warped before the bubbles went up. But they obviously went up very soon after.
You guys warped like Muck warped us to our Keepstar, and then he was like, guys, just hold on. And like it's the same thing. Like if you guys warp back to your home station and the FC says hold on, you're probably gonna lose half your numbers.
I love it's the FC of that fleet was Dirk. Is it? I don't know if it's Stedil. I say Steele.
It was some
Steele or Peter. Or
I say Dirk Steele. But I love he loves the word haze. So he's like, all right, warp to the gate. All right, jump through. He's like, someone's like, there's a dictator. He's like, haze that dictator, haze him, haze that dictator, haze. It's like, okay, well, haze him, man.
Dude, someone
and then we get to the he has a because their tasing gate's always bubbled to fuck. So like we had a perch. And then we warp down, obviously, into an edge of a bubble, but it's like, okay, we got to burn like 10 kilometers, so micro warp drive's like not a big deal. Like, worst case scenario, we lose like 1 or 2 typhoons on the way out. In that case, and so it's like he's just like, all right, just haze anyone that gets in the way, haze them. It's just fucking like every other word was haze. I thought it was good.
You know the guy, like the guy who's F'ing that typhoon fleet, like because you obviously like you ask who's F'ing, right? Just because like. If I know like if Asher or Jay or someone like I'm paying more attention, right? So like you're like who's seeing the fleet, and it's like, oh, it's this guy. I'm like, oh, I've never heard of him before. So I look him up in game. I'm like, he's in Ascendance, and he says that he's a Goons Form diplomat in his bio, so he's probably terrible.
Kick ASCII confirmed.
Yeah, I mean like in all honesty though, I mean like so. I thought we lost like 10 to 15 foons on the Tazy gate. It's like, okay, that's kind of expected because some of the people got through late and they didn't get the fleet warp to the perch over the Tazy gate, so they just warped to the Tazy gate like just flat out, and so they got caught in bubbles, and by that time there's a fleet on hand and they were just getting blasted. And then there was people that were. There's always the people that are just like, oh, we've undocked. It's like, yeah, we did 3 minutes ago. You probably shouldn't do that. But they undock anyway and just warp to the MTECO gate. It's like, oh, I'm fucking dead. It's like, yeah,
there's a lot of people like that
pay
in
attention
every
a little bit more. So, like, I mean, yeah, so people died a bit. So we lost, like, what, 20 to 30? That's not bad, though, for, oh, we're fucked behind enemy lines. Time for a breakout maneuver of, like, a 200
Dude,
it was like 250 man, like, Typhoon fleet. So, I mean, like, losing 30, like, that's not the worst case scenario.
The reason you got away with like so little losses was because the time that you undocked was like so fucking dumb and stupid that everyone was like, oh, it's fine, they're just gonna stay there, whatever.
That's what
that's
I'm saying. Like I was watching the Averin stream that it's like, you guys like okay, they're not gonna undock, we got people scouting it, so we're gonna go over to the system next door and shoot the Astrus and kill it. And you guys were busy doing that, and like that's when we got the order.
No,
and like, I think we had scouts on the gates saying like, "There's no bubbles on the gates right now." Like, and then it's just like, Dirk was just like, "All right, fuck it, undock and run, motherfuckers."
Yeah, dude, I'm just like, okay, everyone just start your drones.
It was fun. Like, it's like, even though it was a fleet that I didn't shoot a single thing.
Wait, they undocked? What?
Yeah, it's like I didn't shoot a single thing that fleet. Our fleet did nothing but basically jump and / warp to things after the fact that we should have been, like, you know, post time, and then just die on the way out. Like, it was a complete failure fleet, but at the same time it was an extremely fun fleet because of just the chaos that was going on. Like, I love that shit. Even though I don't get to shoot something and we all die, as long as it's entertaining, that's what I fucking play the game for. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know
what? You know what the biggest thing for me as well, like this far, right, is so I have always played with like older players who are like more experienced and everything, right? And like honestly, I've like had so much fun like FCing Horde the last week because they're all just like newer players who just really fucking excited to like just play the game, just do anything. They're not like, oh, is this gonna be a structure, or oh, is this? They just want to play, man. They just want to play the game.
Like that's
it's so refreshing to play with people who just want to play.
You mean not flying with bitter vets?
I fly Logi so often that it's just like, you know, kill mails don't mean shit to me anymore. So it's like, I love shooting stuff and blowing it up. I love flying Logi and repping stuff, but I don't care about kill mail. I just care about like what happens on the fleet, because that's when you're playing. Who cares about some like, you know, kill mail medal that you get? You can look on post fact, because like, you know how many kill mails I've looked at in my past? A couple, only to see like how bad or how bad of a loss I had. Like one was the jump freighter loss I had in high sec.
Ha, that was for me.
Yep, that was for Drunk Canadian.
I decided like,
yeah, I'll get you those modules. I got a jump freighter, I'll just give them to you. And then I just took my TNT guy and not my neutral alt, and we were war decked all the shit. So I was like, yeah, let me just like warp around in high sec, and I fucking died in a fire. So that was great.
Actually, we both learned something that night.
Yeah.
I shouldn't jump my carrier drunk into Tama looking for a fight, and you shouldn't use your jump freighter drunk trying to get me mods for my
jump freighter on. Yeah, but that's all. It was all fun. I was laughing when it died. The nice thing was I was like, well, I have enough money to replace it, but I'll be broke after this. But then Dirk was like, yeah, here you go. I'll buy you a new one. I'm like, oh. So PL is funding my jump freighter losses now.
No, he was still, wasn't he TNT still?
No, he was PL at that point. He was PL. But
really, I thought.
Yeah.
Huh.
Alright, but I mean, like, okay, so basically, like, as far as the war though, I mean, like, the war's off to a good start. Like, the goons in the state of the Goonie, like, oh, we expect to take a month. I hope it goes longer than that, actually, because I missed the first.
Good for the game.
We might go all the way through up to Vegas. I'm giving it.
I hope so.
I'm giving it another 2 months.
Because I missed the first week and a half just because I've been working like 50-hour weeks. Like, we've been so far behind at work that I've been having to like put overtime in, and so it's like I get home and it's like I take a nap, and by the time I wake up it's like So I just got deployed like 2 days ago.
You just gotta want it, Drayden.
It's so arbitrary, though. Do you know when the correct time to finish playing is a divisionist this war? When your own alliance is bored. Because, like, until everyone's not having you should just keep going until people aren't having fun.
Yeah, like you guys are having fun. Like you guys are what like if you wanted to poll your line members, you guys are a decent you guys aren't block level FCs, you're not strat FCs, you're not like spies or intel gatherers. You're just you guys are having fun. You had fun with the Foon Fleet. Blaster had fun with the jet. That's when you guys stop having fun.
FCs, all the people are in the upper level of organization. I understand it's a giant load of just shit on them. So I know that there's burnout there. There's burnout there much more than the line members.
There's only burnout if people have bad leadership structures. If you're just in a permanent war setting all the time, and you just have people who actually enjoy that's the key thing, right? For me right now, I'm not gonna. I mean, Doom might take a day off, but Doom, are you gonna get bored if this war goes for a month? No,
it could go for 3-4 months, and we'll just keep on trying.
Yeah,
I'm good
exactly.
I'm good to ride this thing till Vegas if that's what happens. So.
You can't farm 1,000 people fucking 3 times a week for months on end.
No. Yeah, you can't have if you have the all hands on dicks fleets every single night. It's okay. People get a little tired of it, but.
I would be very surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if it lasted until Vegas, and then at Vegas when we're drinking, we'll be discussing fights, because we're nerds, so we'll be discussing fights or just random haha, I tackled you when you're trying to run. It's just little stupid things like that, and then after Vegas, you guys will probably want time to go back and make ISK, so that's probably when the war will end. And you guys will pull back and start rescuing your ratters again and everything. That's probably will be what happens. And then maybe another war will eventually. War is great for all of this. It's great for the game. Spin aside.
War's the fun time. When it's just peacetime, it's okay, time to grind some ISK to fund the next war. But that's kind of one of those necessary grinds that you're not super into. I mean, some people love grinding. Some people just love grinding ISK, mining. I actually do like production. I haven't done it for a while, but once the new moon mining structures come out and stuff, as far as process, I'll probably get back into that. And then once I get into that, I'll probably be producing T2 moon materials. And then if I'm producing those, I usually do T2 production as well, because I find that fun. I don't know why. I love crafting and stuff, but
I mean, you make.
I like the fleets. The fleets are the main thing. It's I'm not a big fan. I don't like solo PvP. Some people love it. It's a great thing. I don't like solo PvP, and I'm not a giant fan of small gang roams. I like fleet PvP. I don't mind being an F1 pusher. I don't mind doing all this. I love getting in big fleets, or even medium-sized fleets, and just going out and taking objectives, doing stuff, and.
To feel like you're making a difference, that it's more than just a good fight.
Right, it's more than just I blew a ship up. Because when I've gotten past the point of I blew a ship up, that was fun. It's more of when I'm in a fleet and I'm shooting stuff and I'm seeing stuff get alphaed off the field. We're making progress and stuff. It's not I'm killing stuff and I'm getting a kill mail and that's what I'm excited about. It's more of this is a fight that is obviously not causing a big giant ripple in the whole EVE universe, but it's there is a goal to this fight, and my participation is progressing that goal, and it's just more what's the word I'm trying to think of? Achieve. It's some kind of achievement of
I think what you're trying to say is the inverse of good fights are boring, really. I think that's what you're
just
saying.
You're
trying to
say
I don't
not
like
super
good
into.
Fights.
I like
trying to
fights
frame
that
it
have
as
a
positive
purpose.
on the former.
Yeah, I like fights that have a purpose to them. This is a fight. Yes, it's fun, but what's the fight for? If it's just
Conan,
specifically, if it's just to have a fight, whatever. If it's this is a fight to defend something, or this is a fight to take this, or this is a fight to destroy this, to disrupt this, or this is a fight to, if it's to do something, I'm into it and I really like it, and then you see the progress in it, and that's what I enjoy.
Yeah, you like strat ops.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
straps are why I play the game, basically.
The worst thing is there's 2 wars going on. There's one in the north and there's one in the south, and we've hit, and because we all use similar doctrines, we've wiped Jita out of Hictors, Logi, Claws, command ships, fighters. Jita, I don't know where all industrial guys went, but Jita is wiped out of many of these.
Dude, it was the same with World War B, if you remember, with interceptors.
Yeah, it just feels so much worse this time around for everything.
The problem is there's basically like the time delay between like I want to build a claw and then actually having a claw come out of build is like 4 or 5 days.
Oh yeah, they increased in invention, didn't they, or something?
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 days, right? Like to actually do like the turnaround, right? So like basically people have got to like match the buy volume in Jita, and because it's marketers who aren't like identifying off Z Killboard, it's just market forces. So it takes like a few weeks to ramp up. Like we won't have this problem like this time next week, I wouldn't imagine. God, I bought an FC Vulture. The Vulture hull. Sorry, not Vulture. What's the
Nighthawk?
The other one. Nighthawk. No.
Oh yeah.
No, sorry, Vulture. Yeah, Vulture. Yeah, that is the one I'm thinking.
Well,
anyway,
the Nighthawk is
Vulture,
a hull of
it was like
Ferox, right?
It's the Ferox.
Yeah, that's the one.
And
Right. It was a Vulture.
Vulture
the
is
hull
the Drake.
was 600 mil is the point. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
600. Holy
It's
cow!
600 mil for a hull, yeah. And I was like, I just bought it.
Just the hull.
Yeah, just the hull. It's the most expensive command ship I've like ever bought.
Robbery.
How much is a Sleipnir for?
Sleipnirs are a lot lower because Sleipnirs are like actually used as DPS ships. So there's a lot more availability.
I think that aside from like supers, I think that's actually like one of the only two ships I can't. I've been skilling up for so long that the only two ships I can't fly ship types is command ships and Black Ops battleships, and then supers. Like those are the three classes of ships I don't have skills for. And I don't know if I'll ever train them because I don't really have any interest to fly any of those three.
But you don't win it even until you're in a super or tight.
Yeah,
I have no interest push the win button.
I actually have the ISK now for a super, and I still don't want one.
Drayden, I'm in PL.
Well, then
and
buy
I don't
me
have a
one.
super. I don't have a super in PL. That's my
You have
thoughts
a
on
hell.
it, dude. No, I don't have a
No,
hell.
no,
Yeah, but I want
DC.
I want another one though.
Oh no, you can't have another one. But yeah, so I mean, it's
Why can't I?
because
Would that be spoilers? I mean, if we knew DC was in another.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
like, I don't know. It's with supers. I mean, like, you know what? If I was to get a super, I would do a Titan and not a super carrier because like super carriers are kind of like regular carriers, just like super buff.
Supers are so
super carriers.
Right, it's like they're super
Fire
buff. It's like
mechanics are really
if I
fun.
was gonna fly a Supercapital, I want to shoot a Doomsday at something, and so I'm getting a Titan. And I'm not getting a Titan just to bridge people. Like if I get a Titan, it's like I'm not a bridger. Don't fucking call me to bridge. Call me to Doomsday.
Maybe you'll fuck up your bridge and
like
you'll
if you want something Doomsday, give me a ring and I'll fucking do it. But if you want just people to bridge to a certain spot, I don't have a Titan. I don't know who you're talking to.
The problem is, if that's your attitude, you will shoot things about once a year if you're lucky with your time.
Well,
That's
no,
your approach to
I'd
it.
shoot things immediately and then die, but that's fine.
See, the problem
I would
is
take
everyone said that,
bait.
dude.
I would take bait.
Everyone said
carriers.
that, and then they never do it.
Well, I
No,
would.
because once they get into it, they're like, "Oh shit, this is really expensive."
This is too expensive.
I'm one of those people that's like, you know what?
This
This is the most expensive thing I've ever had, and I can't afford to replace it. I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna YOLO drop this shit on someone and blow them up, and then die and be like, that was my super experience, and I'll never have a Titan again. That's what I'd do with it. I'd be like, you know what? I put a Doomsday on this thing for a purpose because I want to actually use the Doomsday, and I'm gonna make sure I do it. And it'll probably die because I'm gonna jump on bait. But I'll kill the bait, and then I'll die, which is fine with me. And then I'll never fly a Titan again. But I can have that I did it medal in my closet. But that's why I don't have a super, because that's the attitude I have.
I know. You know how much time we got left? We got 13 minutes.
We got 13 minutes. Are we supposed to do like a Game of Thrones spoilers or something?
Oh,
I think that's more of a
let's
dirt
roll it.
thing, but I think yeah.
Well, it's a show thing. I mean, like, well, hold on. Do we have? Because we can always push it back to next week. Do we have anything else to go on with the war stuff? Because if that'll take precedence.
Other than the fact that PL, NCDOT, and Goons are teaming up after this war.
All right, so
that's pretty much it.
All right, let's roll it.
All right, so let's. I don't even have the video thing ready on this setup, so don't. Okay, so just let me just throw out there verbally. Spoiler warning: Game of Thrones. If you haven't seen, if you're not up to date, Game of Thrones, mute the stream because we are going into spoiler mode. So you've had fair warning, and also Capri and Doom Chinchilla. Are you guys up to date?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys don't have to leave.
I'm not.
Well,
Dude,
Peace out, Drunk Canadian. Hold on.
No, I don't care because I'm just not watching.
Yeah, so have I, Cappy. There's nothing good to spoil.
Right-click ban Drunk Canadian for not watching Game of Thrones.
I wait till the whole season's over, then I binge watch the whole thing.
Wait, are you serious?
I have ads.
He does, yes.
Waiting.
Oh, then mute this shit because we're gonna spoil the shit out of it for you.
No, man, I don't care. I'm drinking and I'm not gonna remember anyway.
As well, if you
want.
I
could spoil tomorrow's if you want.
Oh no! Okay, so we're doing current spoilers. We're not doing spoilers of the leaked shit.
Littlefinger dies.
All right, so everyone's had plenty of warning now. So, okay, the rock paper scissors meme that I got from my sister was pretty good. That was from
hilarious. Link that.
Oh, I had to find it, but like, it was basically like rock. It showed a rock, and then paper. It showed paper, and then scissor. It showed Miss Sunday and Grey Worm.
Miss Andre.
Anyway, so this week, I have to actually try to remember it because I'm mixing up the week before with this last week.
So the biggest things I had from this
week
week
the fucking the fight.
Was the fight was the battle, but we had Arya's and Brienne's fight at Winterfell. Well, okay, so I just spoiled it that Arya is now at Winterfell. So they show her coming up over the ridge and show her looking at Winterfell. So I think that was a great shot. It was well done, but for a lot of people thought that she didn't go to Winterfell. But anyway, so the fight, I read today that a lot of people were claiming that Catelyn Stark was a ghost in that scene as Arya and Brienne started to fight, and she walked underneath the arches in the same long coat that she wore when Catelyn was killed.
Did you
I was like, I checked it, and yeah, it's like people are reaching on that one. Is it just some
waif, like random like castle waif walking through the tower?
I think so. It had to be, but it was the same coat that Catelyn wore. So I was like, all right,
it's a fur coat.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody wears a fur coat and fucking Winterfell. So fuck that. All right, but I thought the fight was fabulous with a great fight between Brianna and Arya.
I liked that it wasn't just one-sided. It was like, okay, so Arya showed that she had some prowess. She got the best of Brienne a couple times, but then like Brienne just when Brienne just drop kicked her right in the chest and just like flat backed her, it's like, okay, you're not invincible, Arya. She just owned your ass.
But I thought that was pretty cool. But I think the other best scene was Bran and Littlefinger, where Bran said, was that Littlefinger's quote was, "Chaos is a ladder," and I thought that was because that's Littlefinger's quote, and Bran threw it back at him, and Littlefinger just like his jaw didn't drop, but he was like, "How did you know that?" kind of saying.
Claire Kennard, thanks for the sub. Littlefinger, I fucking hate Littlefinger. That guy's a fucking weasel.
Man,
why did you get so upset when I said that he dies?
Yeah, I fucking hate that guy. But the thing is like, I love that he was put off. Like, he's never put off by anybody. Like, he always has a plan, and he has counter plans and contingents all through his mind. Like, he's very smart. He's very like manipulative. But I love when that guy gets set off of like, I didn't expect this, and it catches him by surprise because he caught that by Bran. Like, the look on his face was like, what the fuck? I don't know what to do here. And then he just left. I'm like, yeah, get fucked, piece of shit. So those I love. Okay, so also before we get into the big battle, because that's the big thing. Like, I love that Arya finally got to like. The thing with Arya, it was like, please, George R.R. Martin, don't fuck this up again. Because every time Arya's heard about, my leftover family is here, she goes there. She went to the twins, and the Red Wedding happened before she got there, or as she got there. She went to the Eyrie, and her aunt was dead, and she didn't know Sansa was there. And it's like, everywhere she goes, it's like, she thinks she's meeting up with family, and gets just basically disappointed every single time. And she finally gets to Winterfell. She knows Jon Snow is there. I don't think she knew Sansa was there.
No, she didn't. Yeah, because
she gets there, and the guards are like, "Who the fuck are you?" And she's like, "I live here. I'm Arya Stark. Jon Snow is here, and he's ruler." And they're like, "He's not here." And I was like, I was like, please don't make her turn. Like I guarantee.
And she does that laugh.
I thought she was gonna do the whole like, well, fuck it then, and go back to King's Landing. I'm like, no. And she finally stuck around, snuck her way in, and met up with Sansa. Like, she finally found like, okay, Lady Stark, who's that? Because I don't think she knew that Caitlyn was dead yet. Maybe. It feels like she should have known that though. And then she found like, okay, Sansa is here, so she knew her sister was there. She finally met with her sister, met with Bran. John will hopefully eventually come back, and there'll be a whole family reunion of all of the surviving Starks, because all of that's the 4 that are left alive. Rickon's dead.
Is he a Stark though? Is he really?
The what?
Is he really a Stark though? Just saying.
Well, he's not. He's a bastard.
No,
I apologize
John.
For any
John
brave
is
newbies.
so John is a Stark and a Targaryen. His mom was Ned's sister, and his dad is
he's a Targaryen.
Daenerys' brother.
Yeah. If we look at the lineage, yes, he should actually.
He's a Targaryen because it's past. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a Targaryen.
Daenerys Targaryen. Her way older brother, like he was like 30 when she was like 5, but so it seems like weird that Jon Snow is her nephew, even though they're like roughly the same age. But Daenerys' brother and Ned Stark's sister had Jon Snow. So Jon is... And that's the thing, is like Jon Snow and Daenerys, I guarantee, I'm predicting it, they're going to hook up. And they're going to... Because she said, I'm going to go over to Westeros and marry a powerful person over there. And that's Jon Snow. And
check that picture, Capper.
That face when you know the answer. When you
Capper, check that.
Oh,
check that.
But I'm just saying, like, so... I'm just saying, like, and even if that happened, like, Aunt marries her nephew, that is, like, pure fucking incest. But as far as Targaryen house, it's actually a pretty distant incest, because they usually
Targaryens
they usually marry brother and sister. So yeah, they're usually like straight fucking brother sister incest. So aunt to nephew is like distant incest. It's like kind of like, you know, loose.
It's okay. If you ask a brave newbie, they can tell you the spoilers, because I just transferred them some stuff.
I like giving spoilers with warnings, but I don't like hearing spoilers. So I'm a big fucking hypocrite over here. But
Doom keeps anchoring citadels and then transferring them to well-known corporations with the name of a golf spoiler.
Okay, yeah. Yes. That's the one thing I've learned, is never look at the name of PL structures, because they will always spoil Game of Thrones.
And don't look at PL.
Okay, so I was even a bigger asshole. So you know how you guys keep intosising our system? So I'll go with an anti-intosiser, and so because the guy's sitting there, he's stuck there for 2 hours as I like drive him off or jam him, and I'll just say spoilers in local. I'm like, as long as you sit in local with me, you're gonna have to deal with this. By the way, did you know that Arya does XYZ? Did you know that Sansa also does? While you're here, did you also know that Daenerys also does this? You can leave the system anytime you want. You can leave.
Would honestly give up. I would be like, you know what?
Who has their local window open?
I'm the.
I don't know. You guys love, like, the intosisers, like, generally like, hey, ha, I'm cloaked in a safe spot. You
they must be bored.
Me.
Yeah, no.
Because I typically don't have like the local chat open.
Your tactic is actually like legit in my mind, because if I was that scout, I would be like, you know what? I'm gonna shirk my fucking duty. Fuck goons. I'm not having this shit spoiled by this asshole. Right, I'm leaving. You guys can have the system.
I do that when I say hi to goon fleets as well. I'm like, hey guys, also, did you know that this is what happens? See you guys.
That's fucking evil. It's good though. That's a good tactic. I mean, I
did get in trouble for doing war decks. Don't do spoiler war decks. I got in trouble for that one.
Wait, spoiler word? Oh, wait.
Yeah. He made alt corps with Game of Thrones spoiler names.
No, the big one was Star Wars. Star Wars got me in trouble.
You get in trouble from PL? Or you get in trouble from CCP?
With CCP.
What?
I war decked CCP as well.
So we got 3 minutes left. We got to talk about the big battle scene.
Oh, right. Shit, we've been shirking that. Okay, so fucking dragon.
Dragons!
Why did she only bring one?
Because
she can only command one.
She can only fly one. We know
she can tell the others, like, hey, Dracarys the shit out of everything that's not, you know.
Well, he is the best fire breather.
And they only breathe fire when she says Dracarys, so
right.
she would have to be the...
No,
because she sent them out in the Bay of the Slavers Bay.
I know
she wasn't riding them.
I think I really think, and this is because I don't actually know. I don't think I know. It's probably
she can only ride one, but she sent her dragons out into the beta. But 3 of them were burning ships.
Dragon is the best dragon in all of Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, obviously. But the other two.
I mean, that
still
scene would have been
fire.
so much like they just would have lost. Like if she brought all 3 of her dragons, like he wouldn't even gotten to that like. Arrow.
Okay, so Marsha brings a point. The other two would probably attack her rider or her troops without a rider. That might be
right.
Oh, probably.
So they might need direct. Like
he's the most commandable too. And
right, because when she sent them after the slaver fleet, she's like, all those ships are enemies. Just burn everything, and it didn't matter. But like, if you have to like be specific, that could be a thing. The fact like now here is like tactical analysis. When Braun, like when she saw the first like
Braun.
The guy, Jamie Lannister's little like sellsword guy.
That
so he was getting on the ballista, and I love the fact that in medieval times a ballista was just invented as this like imaginary like holy shit weapon. But anyway, so like they have the ballista, and it shoots a dart past her. She sees it, she's like, "Oh fuck, that's some pretty heavy shit." That thing can only aim up so high. Why did she not just go directly above it, burn down at a
aren't they sort of related?
Straight down angle? Set that thing on fire because you cannot aim that thing up at a 90-degree angle. You can't.
Watch the scene. That's literally what she did.
No, it's not. She like hung in front of it.
Came at a 45.
She hung in front of it and was gonna blow fire at it, and he shot it in the shoulder. Like she was like flying at it at like a 45. If she was directly above it, he could not have aimed that straight up in like a 90-degree angle and shot that dragon. He shot it like she eventually burned it, but she shot it in the shoulder, or he shot it in the shoulder.
Dude, just what you were saying a minute ago. I like literally watched it this morning again because I was like not sure and like just sat and paused it.
Yeah,
like,
I watched the clip as well. Yeah,
got
he's
into
fine.
the water just fine. Like he's totally fine.
I think he is too. But
it's a shoulder shot. It's a flesh wound.
When I first saw it,
I literally watched it. Like it's not even ambiguous. If you
they have him deep in the water when the fire goes off. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So sorry to cut everyone off. We're actually at time. We got to get out of here because Games Corner's up next. I'm assuming she's playing some Jackbox. She usually does on Friday nights. So we're out of here. Thanks everyone for watching, and we will see you guys next week. Dirk's back next week, and peace. Shots for the road though before we go.
Later, bitches.
Yeah, later, bitches.